This season 5 finale was recorded live on Facebook in February of 2023. Because it was live, there's going to be obviously not as many edits. There's going to be pauses. This is going to be extra long. We're going to go off on tangents. We're going to have a lot of spoilers. So please keep that in mind if that's something that you don't want to hear. Enjoy the show.
Hey, get in here. Dallas is about to start.
Welcome, guys.
I'm sure it's not just the four of us. And one more.
It could be. I don't know. I'm going to get off of this because I have to look at my notes.
It is me. Hello. Hello.
We're our own audience, like usual.
Good evening, Jason. Jason Gregory is with us.
Hey,
Yo,
Jason.
Cheers. Our first one to sign
Cheers.
on.
Woohoo. All right. I guess we should probably just get going.
We're going to be drinking tonight, but leave the pills in the cabinet.
Yes. Do not mix, guys. Do not mix. Bad news. Bad news bears.
Whoops.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
more fun that way.
Or just
depends what
lots of
kind of fun you
shots.
want to have.
Oh my
I love the
God.
end of the video when you go, "You're killing me."
It's so funny because that was like the beginning of the night. That was only like shot number 3 or 4.
Mary, you cut it.
I
You
counted
cut it so
at
good.
least-
Like I loved it.
Thank you.
Tyler
I
Banks is with
counted
us.
at least.
Hey,
Hello, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Sarah, do you remember? I think I counted 12 shots.
It was 12 on our $300 tab. Yes, it was.
at the Metro, and then we had
But
one
that's
or
12,
two.
so that's 4. I mean, that's 4 apiece, right?
So
Because there's 12 shots. That's 4 apiece.
Straight up.
And then those other people bought us a shot.
Oh, yeah.
so we must have had 8 or 9 apiece.
Pickleback?
Plus the Manhattans.
Oh,
yes.
shit.
Plus the
I forgot I
beers,
drank Manhattans,
plus
too.
Oh, it had one.
That's why you guys fucking blacked out.
I blacked out. I was
blacked out.
fucking nutballs. Oh, I
That
can't
would be
say
it.
fuck on Facebook, can I?
You can say fuck on Facebook.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry,
We're in the
fuck.
group.
You're
Can you say
fine.
fuck? Fuckity fuck, fuck, fuck.
Fuckity fuck.
I mean, we come with the disclaimer.
I had to press the explicit button for Apple Podcasts. So
Yeah.
we're getting our
Tyler, are you gonna join us, Tyler?
yeah. Tyler, sometime you should join us.
Look, I've got my
One
eyes.
of
You
these
can't see 'em
one
through
of
the
these
glass.
weeks, Tyler should come on. For anyone else watching, we have
Agreed.
the first credited John Ross because they obviously did not have to credit the original baby who played him.
Oh yeah.
Tyler, what's the rule on that? Is it when you're 2 years old you get credited?
Well,
I've seen babies credited, but it's been more
Yeah,
recently.
I think it's
a lot more recently.
Tyler's a little under the weather tonight. We invited him to show up
I'm sorry.
video with us, and he is feeling a little better. So
it's good.
We'll make you
still-
laugh.
we
Laugh
still
and
have
try
another
medicine.
season of Tyler's
I hope so.
episodes
Try.
before he takes off from the series. So
True.
hopefully Tyler will join us sometime during season 6.
You really liked mac and cheese and grapes, didn't you, kids? A lot. Oh my gosh.
All the
Yeah,
mac
tell-
and cheese
tell-
and grapes.
Yeah, you were eating that while Linda was prancing around in her sable coat this episode.
I
was
want to say
hysterical.
coat.
Oh,
All right.
So what do we
should we
got
get
for-
started?
we should.
Okay.
A baby 6 months and under requires a nurse on stage, according to Tyler.
Oh wow.
Makes sense.
And I think Tyler had told me at one point that his mother was actually in episodes as an extra, as one of the nannies or nurses or something.
That makes sense.
Okay. I wanted to so bad.
That would
So bad.
that would make sense. That's actually a great idea.
All right, let's do this.
All right. Welcome to the Ewing Barbecue, where we legit have a trigger warning tonight. It's a suicide trigger warning, so keep that in mind. My name is Mary.
And I'm Sarah.
And I am Josh. I am on my way to LA to confirm or deny whether JR is, in fact, Christopher's father.
You're the Maury Povich of this episode.
Yes. Yep.
He's
Tyler's
a
mother
Spectre
did play his
character.
nanny. Tyler's mother did play the nanny.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
And a shout out to Tyler's mother, who
And,
obviously he wouldn't have been on without
True.
her willingness
A mom or a
to
nurse.
be a child actor mom.
Yeah, my mom did not let me do that.
I think so. Your turn, Melanie.
Okay. And I'm Melanie, and there's another trigger warning tonight too. Rape.
Oh, yeah. Double trigger warning. Oh, God.
Double-
I should have thought of that.
double whammy.
Yep.
I just thought of it because I remembered Muriel and Lucy talking.
Yeah.
Trigger warning.
Anyway, I'd like to give a big...
It's heavy.
It's
There's a lot.
It's big, heavy. I'd like to give a shout out to our Patreon members: Brendan Fillick, Captain America, Sheen Pye, Justin Ware, Laura Bernheim, Brad Mulholland, Anita Wren, and Kristen Carlano. Thank you very much, guys. You rule.
You really do. You keep the lights on.
And you keep us off the streets.
It's true. And if you want to check out our Patreon, we have a lot of extra stuff lately. We have recorded extra episodes of our DOA where we just discuss random things kind of about Dallas, around Dallas. The last one we did was about fandom. And we have our book club, which we're reading Lee Raintree's book, Dallas. We're about almost halfway through that now. It's not getting any better as we're going. If you're not familiar, it's a really terrible fan fiction that was released
It's terrible fan
right.
fiction.
I feel like there was 5 episodes from that first season. Then Lee was like, "I'm gonna write a whole book about this," and he made up characters, situations. It's awful, but we're reading it.
Changed a couple of
we're
names.
reading it.
And you can definitely tell that it was written in the late 70s.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad words in that, and I'm not
Yeah.
talking about swearing.
Very bad words.
And
Bad words.
No.
What do
I
you
straight up
mean?
skip
I-
over
I-
stuff and be like, I'm not reading this.
I-
Okay, so
put
I was
my-
going to read
I
a chapter
started-
that one time. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead.
I was just going to say that one time I was going to read a chapter. I felt like a slutty whore reading it. I just couldn't do it.
And I put
What
a
kind of bad
disclaimer
words?
started putting a disclaimer
I know, it
at the
makes me feel a
beginning
little
of my
gross.
chapters saying that the language is off, and I don't use this language, but I'm playing a character, and forgive me, and I wash
It's
my
white
mouth
people
out
using
after.
the N-word. That's never good. It's never acceptable.
Oh, that word. I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
like, I thought you were going to say
I
the
don't
C
do
word.
What is it I usually do
No,
when
I would say
when I
the
come
C
across
word.
something like that? I'll be like,
I know.
yeah. Usually I say,
think we said a lot of
correct me if I'm
words.
wrong, Mary. I usually say something like, not saying that,
Yeah.
or like I'll just skip. I'll be like,
I'll
that's
be
a bad word. That's a bad word.
No.
Like, it got so bad one night that I like shut the book and I was like, I can't finish
Mascot
this.
wants to say hey.
I can't remember which chapter it was, but I was like, I cannot go on. This is bad because I think it was.
It was, and they're in detail. Yeah.
And I didn't realize it. Until
Then
I
you're
was
like,
like, oh
Lord.
shit.
No.
Close.
Fail.
Mascot wants to say hello.
So close to just lighting the thing on
Mascot,
fire.
she wants to
God.
say hello. Look, she got a new T-shirt today. It says "Sloppy Kisses." She's my little baby. All right, she's gonna go take a nap.
How come
Go take a
John
nap.
Ross never got a dog?
They never had. They had
you
that weird
imagine-
dog in the pasture or something, didn't they? That was the only time we ever saw
In
it.
like the first or second season, they
Yeah.
did. I feel like Ray had a dog.
They don't have animals and they don't have fucking
Like a
Christmas.
farm dog.
They never, like we said,
No Christmas, no animals.
fucking weird to me. Catsman, what are you thinking?
We heard barking in the
It's me.
background in some episodes though, and there was no dog. It was like a phantom dog bark.
Sorry for my glasses back on. I'm blind. I can't see.
All right.
All right.
damn it.
Let's see
birthdays.
neglected to mention Morgan Fairchild last week. Turned 73, I believe.
For
Well,
shame.
I'm going through the cast list by most episodes to fewest, doing birthdays and writing them in, and I have not come down to her yet, so I did not have her on the list yet. But February 3rd, Morgan Fairchild, So
Nice.
belated happy birthday.
You're Jenna
February
number 1.
16th. I don't know if we're hiatusing for a week or two between the seasons, but
We haven't decided yet. Yeah.
Paul Sorensen, who played, I believe it was Andy Bradley, born 1926. So he'd be almost 100.
Almost 100.
And George, don't give me that crap, Kennedy, who played Carter McKay, February 18th, born 1925. Born 1925.
1925? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the 21st, Christopher Atkins will be 62.
Wow.
What?
Time to put away that.
I did not think
Oh.
that he was 62.
Time is stupid.
Time to put away that Speedo.
I feel real fucking old now. Just so you
Yes,
know.
and the half shirt. Oh, God. Oh,
Time
God.
to pack.
I totally forgot. I totally forgot he was my mom's age.
Time to
wow.
pack away that.
Totally
Time to
forgot.
pack away that
That's
blue
'cause you're the
Speedo
baby.
and be done with it.
I'm the baby. You know, apparently that didn't matter when we were in Atlanta. Those guys
They're
were
like,
like,
oh, y'all are
ooh.
20. Bye.
Oh, what?
I was like,
Welcome
you're
to
100.
Amy
Get the
Hara,
fuck
who
away,
is
fucking
joining us.
pervert.
She is in Massachusetts.
Sorry.
She
about
is-
that.
Cool. Hey, welcome.
And
Hello.
she's planning to go to 90s Con in
Oh,
March,
cool.
where Omri Katz will be.
I looked and there's like no hotels. I tried to get a hotel room. I couldn't find one.
Yeah, I got one about 0.4 of a mile away. I booked it with cancellation. It's kind of like a loft almost, where you have
okay.
a bed and you have a pull-out couch, so anybody can show up if anyone comes
Okay.
in.
Well, if I
And
change my mind, I will tell you. But
I keep checking the Marriott every
Yeah,
day.
it's a good
just to see
idea.
if anything
Because there's
opens.
cancellations.
I'm already half.
Oh, boy. We
halfway
should get
through.
going
This
then.
is-
Because it's,
okay,
yeah.
and really quick, we can talk about the hiatus later, but I really don't give a fuck about next week. It's Valentine's. That's a stupid holiday anyway, and that's Tuesday.
Hallmark Day.
Agreed.
National
Valentine's
Singles Day.
sucks a dick,
Yeah,
honestly.
we don't celebrate that,
Okay.
so.
National
It's
Singles
stupid.
Awareness Day.
Huh? Huh?
Singles Awareness Day for the rest of us.
Oh.
And what is that? The last weekend of this month, Omri Katz and
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Duffy will be down in Florida. Bobby W. Daniels Jr. Hello from Union City, Tennessee. Okay, hello.
Awesome.
Hey, Bobby.
And
Hey, Bobby.
any Cross fans in the Twin Peaks fandom, I'm going to the Real Twin Peaks celebration in North Bend and Snoqualmie, Washington, which is the weekend of November 24th to 26th. February 24th to 26th, excuse me.
I wasn't
don't know what I'm talking about.
Planning ahead.
Like November.
February. I don't know what's happening.
I'm going to be right by Pensacon, but the week before.
And there's a lot of free events and other ones that are paid. So if you're in the area, stop by. I'll be at the Eagles almost all weekend in Snoqualmie.
Woohoo!
I like that word. I can't say it,
So
but I like
this
it.
is this is the Superior Twin Peaks Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's not called it's called the Real Twin Peaks. They're distinctive. Yeah.
It's called the Not Dickheads.
It's still the Superior
Yeah.
one. Yeah, it's the Not Dickheads
Not
Not
Festival.
Dickheads.
Dickheads.
Thank
Twin
you.
Peaks. The not the pervert assholes.
But yeah, where were Patrick and
I'm gonna
they're going to be in
roll tonight.
Pensacola, Florida.
Florida.
Patrick Duffy and Omri Katz.
Yeah.
Floribama. Sarah, that's
well,
close
I'm
to
going to be
you.
there next weekend, and they're going to be there the next weekend. And so I might drive back down there and save my mother-in-law. And she said she might go.
And
Why not?
let me know if
Oh, that's right. Your in-laws live down there.
Let me know if you do, and I will kind of shoot Omri a text message to expect to.
I'll walk
see
up and be
you
like,
there.
"Hey, it's me," and don't think I won't do it. Just kidding. I'm not really kidding. No, yeah, I'm
she
not
totally
kidding.
Totally will.
Do it.
And
She totally will.
be sure to get your Duffy's dough. 10% off for February orders.
So cool.
For Hallmark Day,
Oh,
as I call it.
okay.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right.
All right,
Tonight, we are talking about Season 5, Episode 26, Episode 103 of the series, Goodbye, Cliff Barnes. We're at the season finale of Season 5. It
That's
was
why we're
written
live.
by... Arthur Bernard Lewis. Directed by Irving J. Moore and aired April 9th, 1982. Also, April 9th, 1982, the #1 Billboard hit in the U.S. is I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. The #1 film is still Porky's.
Fucking love Porky's. Who doesn't love Porky's?
Porky's is amazing.
And on Dallas.
This episode was #1 in the weekly ratings with a 27.9 rating. Despite Lucy's rape ordeal, Tilton enjoyed the storylines when I got to play scenes where I was drunk or stoned or kidnapped or beat up or something where I could get a little messed up.
Yeah, that's what I would want to do.
Let's see. There's a lot in the book here. There's just a lot of reading here.
A lot of reading. Words.
A lot of reading here, but
words are hard.
Yes, and we are live, and
Thank you.
We will go into this episode, and let's be on our game because we have one of the cast members in our live tonight.
Yeah.
Are you saying we're not on our game normally?
Josh, we're always on our game.
We're going to be on our.
What?
We're going to be extra on our game. Otherwise, we won't.
We're going to be extra?
We won't get any macaroni and cheese or grapes for dessert.
Macaroni and cheese sounds so fucking good right now.
I made mac and cheese for my kid tonight. Actually, I didn't even think about that.
Go steal some.
It was on brand.
Anyway, one of the Ewings is with us tonight. So
yes, well, Tyler Banks is who played John Ross is on our live. So welcome
on our live. So Tyler, if you have any input or recollections of this episode, feel free to fire them out in the comments. And anyone that posts comments, we will try to read them.
If you have questions or whatever,
comments,
comments on a scene, join in. That's what this is for.
Yeah, and sometimes we get going and we lose track of time.
Tom Taylor, welcome. Tom Taylor, welcome.
A lot of that stuff ends up on our Patreon because, sometimes we go off on tangents.
Yeah. We edit about an hour out of each of our...
Yes, sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's cool when you're talking about an episode when I was still playing John Ross. That's one of the reasons I thought it would be good to get you in here.
I believe he might have had his first line in this episode as well.
Yep.
Sorry.
It was our first time I think we've heard John Ross talk.
Because usually he is pounding...
very few things like, how are you, John Ross? Fine. Like something fire engine. I remember that.
Oh, the previous?
In the next season.
Oh, the next season. I was going to say, I didn't remember one earlier this season.
I think it's in the next
But despite being so young and only having a handful of memories from obviously being on, he does remember that helicopter scene at Southern Cross.
Well, it's a helicopter to a kid. Like, I would remember that. Like, it's a big deal.
Would make an impression.
For a little boy, they'd be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of any of those. It's hot as fuck in here. I'm sorry. We have Alabama weather. How hot was it in North Carolina today?
You remember us playing with JR's oil derrick on the desk?
I'm like this.
Yeah, my windows were open until about an hour ago.
Sorry.
It was a balmy 39 in Michigan. Actually, everyone was out because it was pretty warm.
That's warm.
It's going to start storming tomorrow night.
Compared to what it was in my home state of Maine last weekend, holy shit.
Well, it was like 8 here last week. So
And
I remember those days. I do not miss them whatsoever.
Tom Taylor is in North Carolina too, and he's joining us.
Oh. Cool.
Where are you, Tom Taylor? Tyler couldn't stop pointing at the chopper. And apparently when they're that young, you don't get scripted lines. So whatever comes out of your mouth comes out of your mouth, supposedly.
Nice. I always wondered if they gave him something to say. Okay, when I say this, you say this.
Chapel Hill.
I went for Chapel Hill.
Oh, okay. That's like an hour from here.
Cool.
As long as you don't drop an F-bomb when you're a kid because you heard Mommy and Daddy say it at home that morning.
Oh, that's funny.
Whoops.
It's not like they didn't drop F-bombs.
End up in the blooper reel, though.
Miss Ellie did.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we open at Ewing Oil.
Yep. And Bobby calls Los Angeles Memorial Hospital asking about the charges that are from December 10th, 1980. And I thought that was weird because when they showed it to us on screen, I saw 1/1/81. So I wonder if that was supposed to be the date that the bill was sent. Statement date? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. It sounds like a statement date because there's like a date of service and then like an invoice
that
date.
makes sense.
Or a statement date.
Welcome, Kyle Lux from Michigan.
We're in Michigan.
Where in Michigan?
I love how we're all like, where? Where?
Oh. This is very interesting.
Oh, that sounds ominous.
Apparently, Tyler broke his arm at one point, and the writers didn't want to have to explain why, so they custom fit all of his wardrobe to conceal his cast.
Why couldn't they just write you a fucking storyline? How sad is that?
John Ross took a flying leap off the bed and broke his arm. Like, how hard is that? I don't know why people do what they do or don't do what they do. It's just, like, how hard is a phone call, a reference about a text
close
message?
The door behind you.
Your kid took a flying leap off the bed and broke his arm.
My biggest pet peeve.
A little south of Detroit.
A
Yeah.
little south of Detroit.
That's
okay.
not dirty.
Okay.
Well, I live in Oak Park, so
Parker.
which is in Metro Detroit as well.
So so they won't give him the records unless he's in person.
Right, because they're not on the computer anymore. They're in physical storage. It's a different time.
I'm surprised she's giving him anything over the phone at all. She doesn't know who
That's
he
what
is.
I'm saying. Like, he's...
Like, HIPAA be damned.
I mean, this was before HIPAA.
Yeah,
wasn't a thing
but
back then.
Like, just some rando dude, hey, I want to know about this thing. She's like, okay, well, yeah, if you come, I'll give them to you. What?
And don't forget that those computers had floppy disk
I was about to
drives.
say,
And they probably stored
Like big ones.
3.44 megabytes of space or something like that.
Something. Yep.
Not even. Kilobytes.
Megabytes.
No, I don't
before
think megabytes. Kilobytes.
I don't even know what any of that is. I just shake my head like this.
Yeah. So
Well, we're up to terabytes now.
That sounds like a
I think,
dinosaur.
There's
hectabytes,
something
right?
beyond. There's something.
Hectabyte.
There's something
Is it
beyond
like
that.
petabytes or
Hectabyte, maybe?
Holy.
I thought it was like a
Somebody
petra.
look
I
that
don't know.
up. Somebody Google
We'll find
that.
it out soon. I could ask my kid because they always know.
Yeah.
But
Weren't we just at bytes at one point?
yeah, and we've moved
that's
quite
where
ahead.
yeah, like when Charlie bit my finger. No, Bobby's going to go to California and has Phyllis book him a flight out there. So
Yeah.
And my first note here was, to be able to fly to LA on a whim.
I mean,
He's just like, I'm going to go to Los Angeles, or I'm going to be in Los Angeles tomorrow. And then he's like, book me a
Bobby
flight.
Ewing, he can fly.
Bobby, you can do whatever he wants to do.
And do what I
Buy
want.
another one, you rich
you
motherfucker.
say that with a
Right?
And I meant it with
hey,
that.
baby.
He's still good looking, and how old is he now?
70.
Patrick?
It's going to be 74. March
Sarah, you should move
17th.
your mic a little closer.
I'm sorry. Well,
Okay.
when I start smoking.
We want you to be louder so we can hear you.
Oh yes, I will. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I'm about to smoke, and so if you can hear the breathing, let me know, and I'll make it back out. And I'm sorry, I do not smoke in my house. Everyone watching this, I only do it on the nights that we have our podcast and I crack the window.
I was going to say, I see you smoking in your house like every time.
No, it's not true, but I'm right here
talking
in the kitchen.
Larry Hagman would not approve.
Hey, something, Sheridan
I didn't get
Hotel.
any extra charges.
Something.
Mary passed out, and I was like, I just want a cigarette. And I cried on the bathroom floor, and Melanie held me. And then I was like, I just want a cigarette. So I just started smoking, and then I threw it in the toilet and flushed it. And I was like, I hope the alarm doesn't go off.
I don't even remember.
We are so lucky that alarm didn't go
and
off.
I did it quick.
I flushed the remnants the next morning. You
No,
know, there was
it
no
was
ventilation in that fucking
But the
room.
whole
There was
hallway
no.
smelled like a big fucking sack of weed.
The whole
It was
hallway
so
smelled like
dark.
a
Yeah, it
bomb.
all smelled like weed.
Which,
I was
hey,
like,
yeah,
where's
I'm
the
good,
party,
but it was
man?
really,
Come
really
on.
strong.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
So we cut to South Fork.
This is typical.
Sue Ellen has come to check up on Ellie.
This is us.
And, Ellie apologizes for her outburst.
Which Tom?
Yeah, and
I think throwing the dishes.
Okay. Because she's been having a lot of little tantrums lately.
Now Teresa and Raul are in town picking out a new pattern of
Yeah.
Yeah, but and then look at Sue Ellen like trying to be there for her, because how many times has Miss Ellie been there for her? And she's like, if you need to talk, I'm here. Miss Ellie's like, oh, not yet. And it's like, you sure? You good? Like, that was a lot.
Yeah.
But she pivots. She's like, I'm hoping maybe you and JR would. And Sue Ellen's like, about that.
She says yet, so she does know that she's going to have to talk at some point. So she at least is conscious of that. And Sarah, Amy on our podcast says that she would say it the same way when talking about Bobby. So you were right.
You go, girl. Mm-hmm. I like older men anyway, but he's hot. Thank you, Amy.
The Duff as
the Duff.
The Duffster.
Oh,
yeah.
And did you guys?
Oh my God! Do you guys remember when he did the thing with the crab?
Voiced by David Leisure from Empty Nest and Airplane.
Oh, right. I mean, I remember seeing it on Twitter, but I didn't really watch it, even though.
If anyone has
Hey, Sarah.
It is.
Closer to your mouth.
It keeps drifting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Is your mic volume turned up?
Yeah.
There.
That might be it. And did you guys notice that there's like a pram next to Sue Ellen?
We have a pram. We have a pram at my house.
Christopher?
Okay, but John Ross is way too old to be in a pram at this point.
Oh, is that
Christopher?
thing?
Why would Chris?
Is that that romper thingy?
Me?
Maybe Miss Ellie's got him for the day. Maybe he didn't always go to the daycare and the gym.
Maybe. Okay, that might be a reason, but it seemed weird to me. Like, why is there a pram? I don't know.
What's
okay,
the
it would be
pram?
Christopher, I guess.
We have had a pram.
Like a baby stroller, old school baby stroller.
We've had a pram in our garage my family's garage since the 60s.
Why have I never heard that word before?
When my older brother used to get pushed around. And it's
awesome.
It's still there. And I took a picture of it recently.
Melanie just finished her drink.
It was
I
out
wanted
in the garage.
like an old school one when I had my kid, but I didn't get one. So
I'll actually post that picture of the pram in our little group chat.
okay. Well, you should post it on our Facebook page so everyone else.
I will at some point. Yes.
People can see it.
Look at.
But I have our live up, so
Now that we have other people in on the conversation.
Look at my new cup.
That?
Anyone else's family have a pram out there?
I do not. My friend and I. It says partners in crime, Margaret and Sarah, and then the back says, "Just remember, if we get caught, you're deaf and I don't speak English." Yeah, that's cute. See, I keep hitting the microphone with it.
Now, Ellie did pivot to JR and Sue Ellen said that she and JR are considering a reconciliation, and Ellie invites her to stay for dinner, which she accepts.
Yeah. And then we cut to Marilee Stone's house where JR is getting dressed.
And his tie has been shredded by Marilee.
She shredded his tie. Jesus Christ, Marilee.
Wait, what?
What happened? I don't actually want to know how, but I kind of do a little bit. I don't know.
Oh, is it kinky?
And basically, she just wants more of JR's time. It's turning into, they had this like totally casual, we're just fucking situation, and now she's like, but let's spend some time together. And Jared's like, what are you talking about? Like, we had a good time, but
I used you and I'm done.
Sounds like me.
I got what I wanted from you, and you're out.
Okay, she's acting like he used her, but they were on the same page. Like, they were like, this is just this. We're just She told him, like, I don't want any of that stuff from you.
But do you think sometimes girls say that because they're like, he'll like me if I don't, like, want anything? You know what I mean? How some girls do that. They really do. They're thinking they're going to change them.
Okay,
You can't
but
change
if
them.
you do that, like, be prepared for that not to happen. Because, I don't know, I guess I'm a big believer in, like, just say what you mean. If you want something more,
Then I should do that more often.
go for it. But if you're going to play games, it's not going to work.
Apparently, Amy's family, I guess, has a pram or had a pram.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Apparently, JR does not like the taste in Seth Stone's ties in that closet.
He was judgy. He was judgy looking at those ties.
Ugh. Yucks.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to buy one later. Whatever.
And he ducks out quickly before that, what was it, a watch or something, comes flying across the room?
It was either a watch or a bracelet she threw at him.
I thought she was going to go with something a little heavier because he ducked out really fast.
Get it quick enough.
He wasn't going to find out. There was a J.R. Ewing hole-shaped hole in the door.
Yeah, for the Kool-Aid man. It's Kool-Aid time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, bye.
Bye.
Peace out, bitch.
Oh, he also says that he's going to be monogamous now and remarry Sue Ellen. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
adorable. That's adorable.
I give you 90 days.
That's a good point, Tom Taylor. Perhaps JR does not want to wear a dead man's tie.
I mean,
yeah.
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 Yeah, and I wouldn't want to drive a dead man's car because I knew someone in my town that they were driving their car home from work one night, and they had a heart attack and died. It was the same car that their father had a heart attack and died in driving home too.
Wow. Dun, dun, dun.
Christine.
Maybe it's a haunted car.
Or could it be
Christine.
hereditary?
Or could be that.
Melanie, you're muted. She gets.
Melanie's got stuff
read
to
your
say,
lips.
and she can't.
Just like I could read yours when you had yours like earlier. You did the same thing. Our friend from Chapel Hill.
Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor. Full Steam Brewery. Coffee is for closers.
My Michigan friend,
Yeah.
I have Bell's. It's the Christmas ale, but it's a Scotch ale, so it's like my favorite thing Bell's makes.
Oh.
It's my last one of the year.
And I have
Oh my god.
our Chicago.
I could have brought you some a couple of weeks ago.
Could you have flown home with it there?
Oh, probably not. Yeah,
Oh,
I could
shit.
not. That'd
And
be more than 3 ounces.
I can.
Speaking
Your
of
own
giving
mom
gifts,
hates
when I was in
like this,
Salem
is it gonna-
with Omri Katz, I gave him an empty J.R. Ewing bourbon bottle. So I would like to continue the tradition, and next time out in California, I will bring Tyler Banks
Well, that's fun.
an empty J.R. Ewing bourbon
Mine's
bottle.
almost empty.
That'd be
Get
cool.
get all the John Rosses with their J.R. Ewing bourbon bottles.
All the John Rosses.
That's
All
right,
all of
Josh
them.
Anderson. You're next.
Everybody said it. I got all of them.
A collection.
That sounds ominous. You're next. You're next.
Okay, so we go to Southern Cross. And Clayton is looking at a fancy ring and a fancy looking box.
Does anyone else think of the
like
Southern
that.
Cross Ranch every time they hear the song "Southern Cross" by Crosby,
Always.
Stills and Nash?
Ever since I was a
Yes, me
kid.
too.
Yeah,
I thought I didn't even say that. I do that, and I can't believe somebody else thinks that. Great.
always. Because I knew of the Southern Cross before I heard the song ever. So,
Right.
yeah.
And they named a constellation in the sky after the Southern Cross Ranch.
Come here, babe.
Has anybody Googled
Southern
if that
Cross.
song?
Yeah.
There's that damn
That's it.
cat.
That's all about Clayton.
Come on, girl.
There's that damn cat.
So anyway, he's holding a fancy ring.
Hey.
It looks like an engagement ring. And this kind of has me a little worried. Don't like it.
The other
We'll
one's
see when he
over
calls Sue Ellen.
Poor thing. Just
What?
no, Clayton.
Clayton or the cat?
That cat's lucky. You love it.
Which one?
So he gets
cat.
when he calls Sue Ellen, he gets Mrs.
Oh, she
Chambers.
drooled on me.
Okay.
Sorry.
He gets Mrs. Chambers, who is just like, she's out. She's not going to be in until like late tonight. And then he's like, okay, we'll just tell her Clayton called.
It's like, okay, Mr. Farlow, she is out until late.
That's a sign, but
She with a man.
Which means I am with John Ross, which means don't wait up.
She's with a man.
yeah.
She's with a man.
He's not picking that up, though.
No.
Yeah.
That's because he's 100 years old.
It's so...
I bet
It's
he's
so
in his
wholesome and
60s. I
innocent
bet
of
he's
him,
literally like 62 or something.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean,
Probably.
Right in my alley. I'm just kidding.
He's like the age Christopher Atkins is now.
Oh!
Like,
That's creepy.
what?
Okay, I have to ask you guys, do people look younger as time goes on?
No,
because I feel
unfortunately.
like my grandparents in their 60s.
I think it's the styles because I saw this
Well,
thing. It was on TikTok, but I saw this thing where someone was like the same thing. Like, did people just look older then? And she did her hair like someone in the 60s, and then she was like, "Oh God, no."
the beehive.
It wasn't a beehive, but it was this other thing, and she was like, "Okay, no, I look old like this." So I think it's the styles.
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, I see pictures. I remember my grandparents in their 60s and 70s, and I think of people that I know now in their 60s and 70s like their kids, number one, and I'm like...
Plus, people drink water now.
Not me.
We know we're supposed to drink water.
somewhat.
And we drink
Instead of
water.
milk.
We like know more about nutrition.
I drink it when I'm hungover to get
You know.
hydrated.
Yeah, there's Botox exists, stuff like that. So
And there was a thing a while ago. It said that in the 80s, your 70s looked like Betty Davis and Jane Wyman, and now it looks like, well, now 80s, looks like Linda Gray and Donna Mills. So
right, and
times have changed.
And, like,
I'm pretty old.
the people from Friends are the same age as the ladies on Golden Girls were when Golden Girls was on. So,
And
I mean,
I was watching a talk show, and Rita Moreno, she's 91.
I was gonna say she has
She's
to be
in
up
that
there.
movie. She's in that movie.
Well, hello, Barbara Eden.
Well, yeah, she's in the movie 80 for Brady, and
Oh, I need to see that.
those four
see that too.
remind me of like
Jane
they
Fonda's
remind me of the 2022 version or 2023 version of the Golden Girls. Now they
Totally, yeah, totally.
and she was with George Chakiris recently, and he is 90, who played Nicholas, and he does not look 90 either. So
Nicholas.
Nicholas,
the cute-
yes.
Who was the cute one on there
That
that
is
Sue Ellen
nuts.
dated that got thrown out the window? Sorry, spoiler. Damn.
Spoiler.
He didn't go
Oh,
over
yeah.
the window. It was the
Nicholas
balcony.
Pierce?
Yeah, I think
No.
he's handsome.
Yeah,
Yeah, Jack
Jack
Scalia.
Scalia.
Jack Scalia.
He was on. What soap opera was he on?
I should know this, but I can't think of it right now.
He was on a show, a cop show with a talking dog in the early 90s.
And a spoiler. No,
Swear to God.
and
Tequila and Bonetti. That was the name of it. It used to be on Hulu.
a spoiler. Nicolas ends up
Nicolas.
he ends up with a giant pin from Angelica's
I
hat.
thought you were saying gigantic penis, I swear. Just them. I'm sorry. My mind's in the gutter.
Leave your danger noodle out of this.
Isn't that the other lady, Grace?
Angelica Nero.
I thought that's how Grace went with the hat pin.
No, she was found
Murdered.
deceased in the room.
Oh, okay. All right.
Smothered the
It's been a
pillow.
while since I watched those.
When Jack came
been a while
to
since I
say
watched
goodbye, because she came in and she hugged Nicholas, and then she pulled out the
Okay.
pin
I love
and
how
stuck
y'all
him
Yeah,
with
I
it.
remember that. It's been so long that I just remember it as Grace. But yeah, it's been, I mean, since the 90s.
Wasn't
so.
she like sitting up in the chair or
Yeah.
something?
And what
And you started talking
little
to her
trivia
and-
question: what was the
okay.
alias name that Angelica used to get back in the country?
Yo, mama.
Andrea Barrett.
Where's
Ba-ba-bam.
I'm missing a dog.
Does Tyler have any memories of the woman who played Mrs. Chambers at all? And working with her, because obviously he spent a number of scenes with her. So if you remember anything about that woman, I'd like to look her up.
Can I just say the domestic employees were so nice. And I know you
They're
have
paid
to
to
be,
be.
or else you risk getting fired. But some of the shit that you get, like all the phone calls from like JR. You know what? I wouldn't last a day in a position
you would not,
like that because I
you
tell
would
them to
not
fuck
know
off.
me at all. No,
She'd be like, "Fuck off,"
yeah.
or make your face, or make your face.
This is
Piss
his
off,
house. Fuck you.
Piss
can't
off,
do
you
it.
cheating asshole. Slam.
Be like, Sue Ellen, he called again. I'm not going to say which one because you got like 3 of them.
Little hoe bag.
So Bobby comes home that night.
Take your guess.
Sorry, but
Um,
It just got
yeah,
opened
Bobby comes home that night, and Pam is in the room, and she's talking about Ellie.
Yeah, and she's like a little bit better. She's basically saying like, yeah, she seems like she's starting to heal a little bit from this. And then,
Awkward silence.
and then she wants to do something tomorrow, but which I didn't write down, but he
Took her to
decides he
dinner.
can't. Oh, to dinner.
Yeah.
This is better.
She wants to go to dinner. And then it's really awkward because he's like, well, I can't because
So I gotta go to
I'm going
California.
to LA. She's like, why are you going to LA? And then he's just like, this is the moment. This is the moment he breaks down. And
Tan my oiled chest. That's why.
He's like, well, what had happened was,
yeah, he finally's like, okay. He starts to tell her, and then Lucy interrupts them, and then he's like a dick to Lucy.
He snaps at her.
Yeah, he
like,
snaps.
we'll be down later.
Yeah, she's just like, okay, I'm just inviting you to dinner. God, whatever.
What time are you coming down? Later, Lucy.
And then JR takes Sue Ellen outside.
Take her outside.
Squeeze.
Mama's got a squeeze box, Daddy.
I really like how Ray is like, there's a surprise.
Yeah, Ray and Donna this whole time just kind of sitting like back, and they're just kind of like, they're just giving the side eye to everybody. They're like, what's happening? Okay.
Wait till some reaction
Donna's
shots
like-
later in the episode.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, Donna's like, I bet that makes you happy, doesn't it, Miss Ellie? And she's like, it does.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice.
So basically, Bobby
But they have a really
admits
nice scene outside.
everything to Pam. Fucking finally, they're
It's been forever.
honest with each other. God.
And all she says is, you lied to me,
Well, she looks
Bobby.
catatonic for a second
lied
again.
a
It
lot.
looks like crazy Pam is back.
Wait,
She says like,
my
hearing his face.
no.
I'm like, oh God.
Pam, do we need to call Dagmara Conrad back?
Waka, waka, waka,
Do we
waka.
need to call Dr. Conrad?
Let's get some sedatives and put you in the bed.
She's like, you lied a lot. And he's like, yeah, I did, but I did it because I was worried about you. So sorry.
well,
but I would do it
Still
again.
say worried. Crazy perm girl.
And then she just decides.
I mean, what was he going
Right.
to do?
What's he gonna?
He walked in the house with the baby, and she was like, I got you about your baby. And he was like,
Yeah.
So you brought this baby to JR and not me? Yeah, well, if you were at the mental hospital the way you should have been.
Yeah, what man brings home a baby? What
She wasn't
happens,
even supposed to
flowers
be
and
there, though.
wine? Why would she think he just got me a baby at the store?
Baby.
Fucking idiot! Like that's what I'm.
She checked herself out. She wasn't supposed to be there.
It doesn't matter.
She was
She
not supposed to
still
be there.
shouldn't have thought that. Like,
No, she should not have. No,
mm.
you got me a baby.
well, what else is
That's a
Pam?
real baby.
Honestly, what else was Pam going to think? Fresh out of the hospital
She was in a state.
for this whole thing, and Bobby walks through the door with a
baby.
baby.
Right.
Pick
Where's
her
her
up at
mind going to
Walmart.
go? Logically,
Yes.
And Bobby Daniels Jr. says, Pam, you assumed the baby was for you. What was Bobby supposed to do? Tell you, oh no, I brought the whole baby home to my brother because it's his bastard child. And you finish your job. You finish the job or on the store's roof.
Oof. Okay. And I feel like at this moment, Pam has to be mad at somebody. She has to like direct her anger to somebody, so she just decides I'll be pissed at JR.
Be mad at Bobby.
With-
He lied to
why
you.
not? That's like the default.
fucking women.
But
Well,
she
I mean, look at Sue Ellen when she's on good terms.
but she
with
said,
him.
oh, then she comes like, oh, well, yeah, maybe you were protecting me, and you went through a lot for me, and blah blah blah.
I have a really good piece of advice for their marriage. Just be honest with each other. Can we just like talk about things for once? Crazy idea, I know.
I think they
where's
might be
the
the
drama
worst.
in that though? Where's the drama in that?
Well, it's the drama is that they're being fucking idiots. Yeah, but that's the thing.
They're being idiots.
But think about it.
Yeah,
They don't, and Sue Ellen and JR fight, but it's better to fight. But we're talking about
But at least they
get
talk.
out. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is going on? Hold on, bear back. Y'all keep going. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So then we cut to JR and Sue Ellen, and they're having a romantic moment by the pool.
My heart.
Tyler, don't look. Your mommy and daddy are about to kiss on the porch.
They smooch.
He says ILY, which we haven't heard much of, like other than once or twice in the last 5 seasons. He says I love you. And you know what? I believe him. I believe the motherfucker.
I believe him.
Is this where you talked about his? Is this where you talked about his voice dropping in tone?
Yes. Yeah. I think last week I brought up when he's trying to be sincere, his voice drops an octave.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's how I don't know if it was intentional. I imagine it probably.
Do you think that was a Larry nuance?
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, he did his own thing a lot. He did go off script sometimes, and
because he couldn't remember
if you think about it, vulnerable.
It's because he was inebriated.
Vulnerable JR. But when you think about it, vulnerable JR wasn't ranting and raving he's usually kind of with his head down and talking kind of low, so nobody can really hear him, and you have to get kind of close to him.
Here's the thing. I think JR actually does love her, but he is going to protect that part of him that actually does. And so he's telling himself he's doing this, one, because she's his, and he can't handle her being with Cliff, and two, the voting rights. He's not admitting to himself, I think, that, because he's not letting himself be, what's the word?
Vulnerable,
emotionally vulnerable. Yes.
Real.
Yes.
Emotionally invested and vulnerable and all that.
Right.
Which was his biggest flaw.
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm gonna say
one of his biggest flaws.
Dick and everything in Dallas is pretty much a flaw.
I you know what? I'm gonna walk back the biggest flaw thing and be like, that was a big flaw.
It was a big flaw,
Not
right?
the biggest,
Yeah.
Just a big one.
That and his
There were
daddy
other
issues and
yeah.
I'm sorry. What is with emotionally unavailable men? What the fuck?
that's a product of their generation, honestly.
Yeah.
God. Not just them. It's like it,
And let's see if he passes that on to his. Let's see if that gets passed on to John Ross.
Oh yeah, let's see.
there are emotionally unavailable men
Josh,
in
why are you
2023.
like that?
Trust me.
Why, Josh?
Yeah, damn it. Why?
I'm just kidding. We don't have to be done making fun of men.
I'll plead the fifth.
So Bobby and Pam fly to LA and go to the hospital.
That and LAX, that's Los Angeles Airport, an exterior shot, and it doesn't look much different. It still has that big giant space thing that landed. It reminds me of the
space thing.
I saw
giant space
a long time ago. I saw U2 in concert when they came to the Boston area, and they had an outdoor stadium show, and their stage setup looks like one of those giant things like LAX has for their control tower, whatever the heck that thing is. Anyone in California know what that is at LA? Is that the control tower?
The spacey thing?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, actually. I've seen it a bunch of times.
What are you called? The spacey thing?
A spacey thing, yeah. I mean...
spacey thing.
It's a spacey thing.
A spacecraft, yeah. I like how the hospital, they just call it, everything is Memorial Hospital. Los Angeles Memorial Hospital, Dallas Memorial Hospital.
I know.
Well, here everything is
Memorial
Brooklyn
Hospital.
Baptist, St. Vincent's Baptist, everything's Baptist here.
It's not that warm and sunny in LA right now. It looked a little overcast and cloudy when they pulled into the hospital there.
That's true.
Of course, they say it never rains in LA, but there's LA smog, and I think California did have massive rain recently, so there goes that out the window.
So, are we losing you guys?
I'm
yet?
sorry, I'm paying
I just need
attention.
to know.
I'm doing work. Oh.
Not you. I'm talking about
trying to be
hello
quiet
out
and
there
work
in
at the same
TV
time.
land.
So we cut to Cliff's apartment where Afton is consoling him, and she's just like, "Are you okay? Do you need me for anything?" And he says that there's nothing there for her and she should go. Which, ouch, Cliff.
Cliff does this to himself, just for the record.
Whack.
And
then
Marilee,
Such an ass.
And what gets me in this scene is when Cliff tells Marilee that he lost everything he cared about. It's like right in front of Afton.
Right.
I know.
To Afton's face. I've lost everything I care about, which you can see her react to that. Like, Jesus, Cliff.
What a dick.
Like, I know you're depressed, but God, have some tact.
Why don't you just sidekick her in the stomach while you're at it?
Good punch her.
Jesus.
Kick her in the crotch.
But she's like, Marilee comes and she's just basically saying the stuff. Here's the thing. She's saying she's the boy who cried wolf because she's now her real story was her cover story for getting on Cliff's side before.
Oh.
It's now actually happened.
Because she's a
And now he's just like,
Bobby
He's like,
Daniels says, "Hi, Melanie."
He's like, I don't give a shit.
Bobby
Who,
Daniels
what?
says, "Hi, Melanie."
Hi, Bobby Daniels.
Sorry.
Woof. Yes.
No,
Hey,
it's
is that
Reba,
Opie?
and they were out. Reba. It
Reba.
was raining. Now she wants to go back outside. No. I'm going to mute this.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. So Marilee,
yeah.
So sweet.
So then we're at the hospital,
Really?
and Bobby demands to know why Chris was in the hospital from like the lady who's working at the desk.
I mean, again, I know it was before HIPAA, but HIPAA be damned.
Wait.
Like,
None of your
was there-
beeswax,
was there
Bobby.
no confidentiality? No.
with some of the crazy crap Kristen was involved in, it could have been anybody coming in off the street to get information on her.
Yeah.
Right. And she says it like, I can't give you, like, the bill's been paid. I can't, what do you want to know? And he's like, I want to know why she was here. She's like, well, I can't tell you that. And then he's like, basically, it's like, takes the folder from her
Dude,
hands. It's like,
seriously.
yes, you can. It's fine.
You're not in Dallas,
Dude.
Bobby. You're not in Dallas,
Like,
Bobby.
I just, like, it blows my mind.
He's so
like,
privileged.
She's like, sir, I can't. And he's like,
Yes, you can. Like, you're so privileged,
You-
Bobby. No.
You privileged bastard.
He does, like, he thinks he can get anything he wants. And it's like, dude, it's our personal, like, medical file.
White cis male. Mm-mm.
Meanwhile,
But what he uncovers, however.
Meanwhile, I'm dialing security to come get this man out of the hospital.
So then he's reading the file and he says, this says it's a partial AB. What does that mean? A partial AB would be a partial abortion, which is the medical term for a miscarriage.
For a miscarriage.
That's why they said AB. I'm sitting here thinking AB, and I'm thinking about blood types, and I'm going, what's a partial AB?
No. It's medical terminology, and that's what they say miscarriage for, because when my mom was in the hospital with the miscarriage with my fraternal twin, the doctor called it a spontaneous miscarriage, not miscarriage, a spontaneous abortion, and my father came unglued. So,
You had a
but
fraternal
it was
twin?
just medical terminology.
How do we not know this?
I did.
There could have been two of
This
you.
is the first time this has come up.
I didn't tell you.
She can't tell the whole the story at once. She's going to dish it out over
Just
time.
like throw it out there.
It's kind of a big deal.
Oh shit! I thought I told you guys
I
before.
don't think so.
Okay. I had a fraternal twin very, very, very early.
Was it a boy or girl?
I think
At least you didn't eat them.
You could have though.
I was kind of like,
No, you could
my
have started
space,
taking
get
their
out.
nutrients. That's considered eating them.
Right? That's
So you were very womb
don't
territorial.
know.
Thank you very much. No.
I was territorial. Well, the crazy part is that I think I was the older one, and I mean, 1985, I don't know if they just didn't know if it was Maine or what, but my mom started to go into labor with me on May 9th, and I think I was more than viable, but they stopped her labor, and I wasn't born until June 10th.
Oh.
And I was a big baby.
Oh, wow.
Looks like our live is frozen.
Yeah. I think I was ready to be born on May 9th, but whatever. I mean, Taurus energy versus Gemini.
Our live is frozen.
Yeah.
We're frozen?
No, it's back now.
But yeah, true story.
Yes.
It's back now.
It is?
Yeah, swipe it down and then pull it back up.
But yeah, true story. I was a fraternal twin.
Wow.
The doctor used that terminology. My parents were 25, and my dad, is like, abortion. She didn't have an abortion. She wanted this baby, and the doctor's like, no.
It's just literally what it is.
It's just medical shit.
Yeah.
Medical shit. Sorry. And my dad was like, okay.
Yeah.
So when he was like partial AB, I went,
Yeah.
There's that terminology again.
Which is why, because they did say she had surgery. And so that means that they had only part of the...
They had to stop.
They had to, remove the rest of the fetus.
They had to do a
That's the word I was
DNC.
thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah, they had to do a DNC, and she needed blood. She needed a transfusion.
Sounds not good.
But girlfriend, is this also where they figure out that?
No,
or is this the
that's
next
later.
scene?
This is where
Okay.
they leave, and they determine Jared isn't the father, and they leave, and Bobby remembers
Well, because she got pregnant
Kristen's
again, right?
apartment address outside the hospital.
On the file.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say, the time she had the miscarriage to the time she got pregnant with Christopher, did she even heal?
No, she would not have. No.
Like, girlfriend, what are you even doing?
She's
She may have put Christopher's life in danger because they said he was in
An incubator, yeah.
Because you have to wait like 6 weeks.
she was
don't you?
on.
And she was doing drugs.
She was a walking
so.
pharmacy.
Yeah.
She didn't know whether it was tomorrow or today or
I'm pretty
up
sure the
or
cocaine
down.
didn't help
She
the
just
baby.
Probably not. Probably not.
I mean, can we say, like, between Sue Ellen drinking while she was pregnant, God love him, John Ross, and then Kristen doing all the drugs when she was pregnant with Christopher,
We're
they turned out fairly
up to
okay.
9
They
people. We got 9 right now. We're climbing.
I mean,
Hey, guys.
TV, but still. Is this the biggest crowd we've ever had? Because I feel like that should be
I think
so
it is.
9.
Drink.
Nine.
So cool. Maybe we
Drink.
One.
If I keep going, I'm going to need another refill. I don't know if y'all can handle that.
Oh, I can handle it.
Yeah, she can handle
And
it.
get your Duffy stove.
She can handle it.
starter.
You're such a commercial job. So funny. If they were only paying us, that would be great.
For sure.
Duffy
It's like the
Stove,
old days
you
of
know. You could
television when
sponsor
they.
us.
Sorry.
That'd be really
It's like
great.
the old days of television when they had to do commercials in the middle of their programs, and the actors had to.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
would encourage. So, Patrick Duffy, if you want us to
You hot stallion.
advertise,
You hot
we will.
stallion, you.
Sarah, you go to Pensacola and you corner the Duff at that event.
That sounds dirty, too.
It does sound pretty
I'm going
dirty.
to corner the Duff. I don't think
Sarah likes to corner the Duff.
I don't think Linda would like that. I'll make friends with her
You
too.
never know. You never know.
Nope.
Look, Floribama. Look for the upside down pineapples. I'm just kidding.
I almost sent you one.
No, I didn't say that.
Is there a tie on the doorknob? Oh,
Okay, so this
Muriel's
is a serious
back.
scene.
Muriel's
Muriel.
back.
Serious
We
thing.
haven't seen Muriel in a while. It's very serious.
She's been. Never mind. I can't say that on live.
Do you think Muriel had lesbian leanings toward Lucy?
Well, that's where I was going with the next comment.
No?
I don't. I think that they're just friends.
She's a concerned best friend.
In other scenes.
And
A very concerned
Muriel
best friend because
was-
she knows that Lucy's
Well,
not ready.
yeah.
yeah,
But I think in the earlier seasons, she was like a jealous friend. Like, didn't want to have anybody but her.
I mean, hell,
Yeah.
I was sitting on the hotel room floor consoling Sarah because she was crying about
I was
something.
being a
I don't
fucking
fucking
girl.
remember
You
what
can
it
say
was.
it. I was being a girl.
We'd all been drinking.
Sorry.
Okay, we were all being girls, and it was
I
just
was
like,
passed
it's
out.
okay, it's
With
okay.
my-
I mean, if
With my cheese mix.
she was.
Oh.
No,
And I
the
still ate them
cheeses
the
by
next day.
then.
So,
Ew.
Well, they were in a bag.
Hot and spicy, extra toasty, or regular?
They were in a
I crushed
bag.
them with my butt, so they're probably,
Yeah,
you know.
still ate them,
Grooves,
though.
okay.
Yeah,
They were Cheez-It grooves. I think they were
How do you remember
real
that?
flavors, right?
They were so good.
They were really
I'm gonna
good.
see.
I love
Let's
Cheez-It
see.
grooves.
Let's see. Anyone out there drinking?
Oh, yeah. What are you guys drinking?
Corner the duck. That's right, Amy. We'll corner the duck.
I would,
Okay.
if anything, because I will say this is, unless I'm on vacation, this is the one night of the work week that I actually indulge in alcohol.
Same.
That may
That sounds
sound
like an
hard to
alcoholic
believe,
in
but
denial.
I usually save it for Friday. I usually save it for Friday and or Saturday. It's like the reward at the end of the week.
I drink Friday and Saturday, and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I usually don't drink on Sundays.
I used to, but
You're doing your part to keep
For
those
Jesus?
in the.
Me
No,
either.
actually,
In the beer?
that really is like
For
the
Jesus.
Southern Baptist thing to do. But no, usually I just take a drink. My liver's got to heal sometimes, guys. I mean, the day of rest.
But you know what?
There you go. I'm not being sacrilegious either.
But you know what? You're
But Sunday's also like a work night, so that's when I kind of shut it down.
See, I
Unless
consider
we're
this-
off Monday.
I consider this a work night.
Labor
I'm
Day,
working
Memorial
and I'm
Day.
working.
But just think though, when you're drinking, you're helping keep those employees that provide you with that alcohol employed and putting food on their tables too.
That's true.
Yesterday I went
Very
to go pick up
True.
Scott's prescriptions. He has like 15,000 because of everything. Anyway, so I go in there and all I'm going
Bobby
in.
Daniels is having some nice iced tea. That's very southern.
Oh no!
It's very southern.
And all I go in and get is those prescriptions, but I got this time of the month it's like 7. So I picked up like these 7 bags of pills, and as I'm walking, I was like, "Ooh, the wine's on sale!" And so I grabbed a thing of wine, and this is at lunchtime on my lunch break. I have a sack of pills and 2 boxes of Boda Box wine because it's on sale. And the girl that works there,
Boda
she'll
Box.
get it.
That was what Patrick was talking about in the
It's the best fucking wine
30th
ever.
anniversary reunion video
It's so good.
at the dinner.
Y'all had it. I brought it to the thing. And it's low
Yeah,
sugar.
it's not bad.
It's not
It's
bad.
pretty good.
That's what I tell myself.
If you're going to drink a box wine, that's how I survived the pandemic, kind of.
That's how to do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it's like I get done, you guys know I usually get done working really early on Fridays, and I'll go to like some of the craft beer places open, like some of them open at 3, some of them open at 11 a.m. So I'll be in there like sometimes start drinking at like 1, and I might be like one of the first ones in there, but my work week is done.
I just come home and get on my iPad and get a glass of wine.
It is the weekend.
So I'm technically still working, but I'm not.
There you go.
I am, I'm not.
Yeah.
I answer emails.
There's one time that I worked, oh my God, it was like 7 in the morning and I was on till almost 10 p.m. and I got up like around 7 p.m. to go feed the critters over here.
The critters.
And and I was like, fuck this shit. And I opened like a can of beer and poured it in a tumbler and sat back down and like worked for 2 more hours. I was like, I got to do something to get through this, because it was like this one week, like a year and a half ago almost now, that something was thrown at us last minute, and I can't describe it any other way except a fucking nightmare. And that's the only time I've ever done that in my life. And I never wanted to do it again. But I'm saying too much.
I worked in advertising for 11 years, and you can totally drink while you're working in advertising. It's completely, perfectly acceptable. Nobody cares.
My kind of job.
I would totally be all about that. And you know what else I remember is the bar that was in the office of Larry Tate and Darren Stevens on Bewitched. Like, I mean, I know it was like the 60s, but still, like, why do we not have
did you watch
bars in the
Mad Men?
office?
Yes,
Like,
I love that show. My dad had one of his
Yes.
bars
Not
in the
that
80s.
They were
far off,
thing.
honestly.
I worked in a bank in high school about my last, like, junior years of high school, like 20 years ago, and I straight up found like a huge ass box of liquor in the basement, and I brought it to one of the company vice presidents, and I was like, what do I do with this? And she's like, just leave it.
And then I used to have these.
And I was like,
I'll
okay.
drink it tonight.
She's like, well, sometimes they bring it out for board meetings. I'm like, Carolyn, that stuff's pretty
I was
old.
told by dudes who were
All
20
right.
years older than me how I missed the golden age of advertising in the 80s when everybody was doing coke in the bathrooms.
Yep.
And all the parties that the work parties would end up with like finding like pairs of underwear in like the offices and shit.
Ooh.
I'm like, okay.
It sounds like a bunch of rape culture too.
Oh, of course. It's,
Free love, Melanie. Free love. I'm just kidding.
In the 80s?
In the 80s, when you're like on a cocaine binge.
Speaking of speaking of
Scene.
speaking of Mad Men,
Yeah.
John Slattery's wife Talia Balsam, who played Rita Briggs,
Yeah, and she also played his wife on Mad Men.
Yes.
right? She posted a picture recently of her with some of her friends. One being relative Joyce Van Patten, and another one of her close friends is Alice Herson, who played Mavis. So
I love Mavis.
It's very interesting to see Mavis and Rita Briggs as friends.
Yeah.
Dallas is a small town.
And I'm going to open. I do have an interview that we did for Ultimate Dallas with Alice Herson way back that never got posted, and I might dig up the audio for us for Patreon.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to handle this scene. I feel like we're avoiding this scene because it sucks. Okay. So Muriel's there because Lucy asked her to come over, but Lucy's just staring off into space and not saying anything. And Muriel's like, "What is up?" And she's like, "Well, I don't feel like talking, but I wanted someone here." And she said, "Well, that thing with Roger, that's pretty serious." And she's like, "Yeah, and now I have to go file divorce for Mitch. And on top of that, Roger raped me."
Whoa, bombshell.
Yeah. And Muriel's like, "Oh my God, like, did you tell people? Like, did you go to the hospital? Like, everything?" And she's like, "Nope, and I don't want to talk about it." Which obviously, like, she does have to talk about it because she's talking about it.
What if you're pregnant? I don't want to talk about it.
Can I just say that, of course, this was the early 80s. This was, what, 40 years ago? 40 plus. When somebody discloses to you, do not start with the questions like, why didn't you report it? Why didn't you go to the police? Why didn't you tell anybody? Just be there. Just let them talk. Right. There are so many reasons why people don't disclose.
So many. Yes.
So many.
Which is what we can say, looking back in hindsight upon something that's taken place in 1982.
Right.
With this 2023 perspective.
I mean, that's...
Yes.
Right. That's the right idea. Like you want to disclose, you want to report, like you want to make sure the person is held responsible, but I don't think anybody really understands the repercussions of what that could come with unless they've been in that situation.
Right. A lot of like disbelief.
Because then it's like
a lot of questioning.
It's disbelief. It's like who's going to believe me? What's the law enforcement like around me? I don't have the evidence. This would never hold up in court.
Is anything actually going to happen? Probably not. Maybe tell the story 70 times and I can't relive it 70 times.
Is she going to be put on trial and be accused of being loose and bringing it upon herself?
Back then, probably, yes.
Exactly.
Oh, that's the defense attorney's first tactic is to go through everything in your social media. It literally does not matter.
I mean,
what
that
you
happens
have
in
done.
2023, let alone 82, you know?
Yeah.
So.
If you said no, if you put up any kind of fight, if you changed your mind, doesn't matter. If they didn't stop, that's right.
So
it's assault.
And Lucy doesn't, she just like, I can't talk about it. Like she had to tell someone, she got it out, but she can't go further with it. And
again,
Muriel means well, but she's still being a little.
And again, the camera angles concealing a baby bump.
Oh, right. Yep. So a lot of Lucy sitting with things on her lap.
I wonder if there was a point where the writers considered writing her pregnancy into the story and having her have a child.
Right. That would have been crazy.
If that was in the writer's room.
That would have been crazy, terribly dramatic too, because she was in the middle of a divorce. We don't know if she's been with Mitch lately. And then this thing happened with Roger.
But it could have given her storyline.
What was your question just then? I'm sorry. I totally.
More push.
What was your question?
Could have
The question was, what if the writers wrote the storyline of her being pregnant into...
I was thinking that, but that same thing, she hadn't really been with Mitch in a while, so everyone would assume it was the rape baby. And that's a little heavy. Yeah. I mean...
That is heavy.
That would be like on top of the heavy.
She could try to pass it off as Mitch's because nobody really knew.
Yeah, but then that's a whole nother...
That's a lot because Mitch would know it wasn't his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of... it's probably... You know what? I will say... It is important that they address that kind of shit on TV back then.
It's very important. I'm proud of Dallas for doing it and bringing up that subject.
So,
because it was a very real thing. And you know what? It also showed that you are likely to be victimized by somebody you know. Yeah. It's not like stranger danger.
For sure.
A creepy
people you know, you trust. Like, she worked with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she worked with him. She had a previous sexual relationship
they would have brought that up, and then it would have been her fault.
And they would have. Mm-hmm. That's another thing. You are so likely to be like abused by somebody you know, an intimate partner. Like that was ahead of its time.
It was
in that aspect.
And a lot of times there's grooming involved to suck them in and
for sure.
Condition and just so.
Well, it's kind of like, was it Blair tried to talk her out of switching photographers?
Yeah, totally. He did at first.
And she was like, I can't.
Yep.
Go with your first instincts, women. If you have the creepy feeling, you're right.
And I feel like if somebody, I don't care who it is, man, woman, whatever, it tells you I can't work with them anymore.
Yeah.
No questions
There's a
asked.
reason.
End it. Give them somebody else. There's a reason. Yep. The more you know.
And maybe it was up on the writer's room board at one point to whether to write her in or not.
Yeah. So then we cut to Cliff, and he's getting drunk. Yeah, it's heavy. He's getting drunk at a bar.
Yes.
Cheers. Reminding me of the old.
Yes. Not a bar. Yes.
Reminding me of the old days with Digger in the beginning of the series, with David Wayne drinking in the bar with the old bums, telling those stories.
Right. Oh my God!
And he's telling
Cliff was
Digger stories.
My daddy, Digger Barnes. It was the best wildcatter
in the world.
Hell, even in the world. And the guy sitting next to him is like, nope. I don't know
about that, but okay.
And Cliff's like, come on, he can smell oil anywhere. And the guy's like, nope.
Still don't know what you're talking about.
The look on his face. It looked like the guy sitting next to him, he looked like he was trying to think. He really looked like he was trying to think, but he was like,
no, I don't. That doesn't track.
What are you talking about?
Yep. And so then Afton comes in to rescue him. And
just as he's getting done saying, I could have married the prettiest girl in Texas.
Yes, again.
As Afton walks in the door. But then he's like, oh, that's my baby. And I'm like,
okay, Cliff.
You weren't talking about Afton 10 seconds ago,
And she
dude.
totally heard that.
Yeah, she
Poor
did.
Afton.
I know.
She totally heard it.
Twice she's heard stuff that she shouldn't be hearing.
Yeah.
But she still is there to take care of him because she loves him and cares about him, and she knows he's in trouble.
So the fortune teller has grown on this show from a gold digger that wouldn't hang around with a loser to, well, now she knows everything ahead of time.
I think Josh, I think she's always had the instinct, but she used it more for like an advantage to establish herself at first. And then she got to know them all and realized that JR was a piece of crap and Cliff had a vulnerable side and she fell in love with that. And I feel for her because I know what it's like to give your all to a man who's lukewarm.
Right. And I feel like she saw
it sucks because you feel like they don't see their potential in themselves.
Yep.
And you try to bring it out, and they're just they bomb it. Like Cliff, this whole episode is like Cliff self-destructing, self-sabotaging, everything. Yep. And Afton can't do anything except stand there and watch it happen helplessly. She's like, I can try, but he's not going to listen to me.
Which was designed to bring it to a head later in the episode.
Right. But with the question with Afton, how she started, I think she started because, being the quote-unquote gold digger because she was like, I want to get ahead in life. But then she met JR, and she realized, I don't want to be like that.
Right.
That's not me.
And I think that also they were trying to do polar opposites
growth,
between
maturity.
Afton and Mitch, where he...
Yeah, they were at first.
Right. So he was so extreme about, I need to earn the money, and I'm the man, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm
I
a
feel
pauper.
like Afton evolved. She was a authentic evolution.
Totally. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I like Afton.
Yep.
I like Afton too.
And hopefully Audrey Landers will be joining us in the near future. I've put an email into her. So.
And then they leave without paying the bill. They don't pay the bill. It's walkout.
Oh,
Maybe he's got a tab.
I'm assuming
He's a regular. You know what?
Wasn't Cliff going to buy
Wasn't
Cliff buying a round for everybody? He was about to buy a round for everybody,
he might be
too.
a reg. I walked out of the bar the other night. Swear to God, I was not drunk. Forgot. I wasn't even in my car yet, and my phone starts ringing. I look at it. It's my daughter. She goes, "Bitch, come back. You forgot to pay your tab." Because my daughter works at that bar. And I was like, "Bitch, I'll be in a minute." And she was like, "Are you in?"
Well, that's the thing. I really like it. I really like it when they take your card at the beginning of the night and they swipe it so that if you forget, they'll close you out and charge 20% tip.
Me. Like they literally put me down as sassy. They're like sassy. That's my name in the computer. So like an open tab. That's sad.
Well,
I'm so sorry.
I had a tab open at a convenience store that I worked at in high school. Like I could get lunch or whatever and just like pay them when I got paid every week. But there were people in town who had like, this was so awkward. The place I worked at, the gas station kitchen I worked at in high school, I also babysat for a few people in town, and one of them was like a regular Thursday night gig. Like the parents went and played bingo. They were young, but whatever. And I was staying with the baby one night, and this is like 2003, so everybody still had an answering machine, right? And the phone rings, and I recognize it's my boss, like the 78, 80-year-old man from the gas station calling to tell the baby's father that he had run up a tab and he needed to
How embarrassing. You're probably like, sorry.
I was like, oh shit. I mean, you're talking about a town of like 6,000 people, if that. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell him. Like, I heard the whole thing and I just like left it and I was like, he will find the message. Like, I can't. Holy shit! Why are they so far behind on their tab? Like
when I was in Dallas, staying at a certain cast member's mother's place, we went to get Mexican food for takeout and had some margaritas. They charged us
Sarah
double or something, and
why they charge you double?
They charged us for they charged me for 2 entrees on the meal.
Did they give you a double? Oh.
But we never ordered the thing, and then there was stuff on the end. This person's mother, that was he was on the show. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. When the hostess left the area, she said, "Come on, we're leaving." And we took the food. She made me get up and leave with the food, and we just kind of ran out the door.
Oh, nice.
And she left the money on the table that was for everything except what shouldn't have been charged, and she said, "We're going. That's it." And it was basically a
wow,
a mini
dine and dash.
Yeah,
dine and dash.
It was takeout, so we
takeout.
Yeah.
All right.
Have we kept everybody? Like, are there still people?
Tyler's here. And,
I feel like I'm devolving now.
Tyler's here, and I asked him if he has any recollections of Mrs. Chambers, and he and his mother don't really have any recollections of her. So,
that's okay. She was a bit player. It's all good.
Mrs. Chambers.
Okay.
I guess she didn't make an impression.
So Clayton is waiting for Sue Ellen at...
Well, also, Tyler was really little, too. I mean, I remember the helicopter.
Yeah.
He was like, what, 2?
Not necessarily the helicopter. I think it's something else.
He was born in 1979, so he's...
The chopper.
2, 3.
3.
2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
1979, right, Tyler?
Okay, so Clayton is waiting for Sue Ellen at a Japanese restaurant, and he is looking at the ring again before she gets there, which leads us to believe that he's about to ask her
foolish man
to marry him.
A question.
Which makes me feel awkward.
How
Wait, what?
can you misread that?
I'm so ADD. What did you say? What makes you feel awkward? I'm so sorry. I'm done looking.
When Clayton
has a ring.
Phyllis
just
Flax.
you
Is
talking about
that the
makes
woman
me
who
feel
played her?
awkward.
Not for Miss Ellie, for
Which
Sue Ellen.
again makes me feel awkward. Thanks, Daddy.
For Sue Ellen.
Yeah, it's awkward because it's just not it's not good.
There goes that daddy thing again, Sarah. By the way, you
Call me
guys,
daddy, baby.
if we haven't already established this, the three of us gals do not call anybody daddy.
No, gross.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
I keep forgetting we're on live. I was going to say, you can spank me all you want, but I'm not calling you daddy.
Absolutely
Okay,
not.
I have the woman's.
Like I said before,
I have the woman's name.
I'm not trying to.
Oh,
is she in the Facebook?
No, she asked me what I told her.
Is she in the Facebook group?
Why? And I said, because I say the F word a lot. And she goes, Sarah, I did not raise my grandbabies like that. And I said, well, this one's a stray cat, so sorry. I told her no.
You know what? There's a lot worse in this world than the F-bomb.
Yeah, a lot worse.
Exactly.
A lot worse. A lot. It's just a word.
So John Ross was born what? He was born 1979, right?
Don't yell it in church.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so Tyler was born in April of 1979, so they were pretty much the same age.
Oh my God! He's John Ross.
The actress,
right?
the actress who played Mrs. Chambers' name was Phyllis Flax.
That sounds like a laxative.
It does sound like a laxative.
It sounds like I immediately thought of flaxseed.
It actually reminds me of Mrs. Flax from the movie Mermaid, which is Cher's character.
I love Mermaid. Guess what
I
was
love
on
that movie.
today? Mannequin.
So hardcore.
Mannequin was on today.
Mannequin?
Yeah, don't tell me how I know that.
With Hollywood.
I was watching it at work on my computer. I do work. I really do, I swear.
Y'all, when was the last time I had a third?
A couple weeks ago when we were recording. I know because I was editing it.
That's why you don't remember.
What was the ABV on it, dude?
Sue Ellen
Shit.
is not drinking. She's having a club soda.
Right. Yes.
I will have you know what? I will finish off with a CBD seltzer. I'll be back.
Should we add that to the drinking every time Sue Ellen gets asked for a club soda?
Oh, a club soda. Yes. Let's add that to the drinking.
It'll be a week.
Yeah.
Friday, I haven't drank Jaeger. I'm coming off the Jaeger for a little while. Stick with the Jameson.
Clayton was on that trip and he found perspective. Yeah, that perspective is sitting in his pocket right now in a little box.
Right. He's figured out what he wants the relationship to be.
And she's glad that they can be friends.
Yeah. Sue Ellen picks up on what's going on quickly. She immediately is like, oh shit. I've been in not this exact situation, but I've been in a situation similar to this where you're just like, oh God, headed off. So that's where she's like, oh good, I'm so glad we can be friends. And then she just stops him. She's like, by the way, I have news, because she knows something bad's coming. So that's why she gets in there and tells him about JR before he can say anything.
Yeah.
Yes. She's having an Afton moment of clarity.
Yeah. So she's like, she'll let you know, JR and I have been seeing a lot of each other, like a lot, and we've been getting along. He's been really nice, and he's asked me to marry him.
Oh my God.
He's like,
it's like over and over.
Are you sure? Like, someone else could treat you so much better, be so much better for you. And she's like, yeah, I don't think so. No, I think he's it. So then he just says, do whatever you like. I'm your friend. And at that moment, I goddamn love Clayton.
Because he's just like, I'm your friend. I'll do whatever.
Yeah, he's just like,
he
okay.
supports her.
He's actually her friend. He supports her. He's actually her friend.
He's not pissed. He doesn't storm out. He doesn't.
Nope.
Such a better
He's
angle,
a gentleman.
Now.
He's there for her.
Is that the word? He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
A gentleman.
He's a good person.
I do like Clayton, though. I'm not going to lie.
And gentlemen prefer blondes.
Shut up, Josh. I'm just kidding.
All right.
I know that's a movie, but...
the movie. That's the only reason I said that.
Hey, everybody has their own taste. You have your type.
So it looks like Bobby and Pam are getting a night in L.A. because the apartment manager is away.
Are they going to go to the discotheque?
And apparently everybody in there works on their tans in the day and works at night.
Yeah, that was a nice little slam in LA. Doesn't anybody work in Los Angeles? Just at night so they can work on their tan. Okay.
You're like,
and they don't even bother calling Gary and Val to say they're in town.
I was thinking that.
Right. What the hell?
Yeah.
Okay. They were at the discotheque and stuff.
Yeah. Doing their lawns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would have liked to have seen Gary and Val get down at the discotheque and maybe Abby slither her way in there too.
If I corner the Duff, I'm gonna make him discotheque dance for me, and I'm gonna record it.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna tell him I'm gonna corner the Duff and make him disco dance. I'm gonna win money, and he's got to do it.
Did a throwback to last week? Did we notice that he was wearing the brown leather jacket in the warehouse?
I did. I did notice that. I'm now noticing it every single time that he wears it.
I call it the bookend jacket. I call it the bookend jacket.
Yeah.
I want that jacket. That sounded real creepy. I want that jacket.
I want it. So we cut to JR and Sue Ellen. He's taking her home. They get inside.
From the
symphony.
From the symphony.
Yes. And then they kiss in the dark.
And then he proposes in the dark, and she accepts in the dark.
Uh-huh.
And they both.
It's like, it could always be like this if we get married. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? It could, JR, but you are you. So we'll see how that goes.
Sue Ellen, I'm going to show you my nope rope tonight.
Get away from my danger needle. What was the other one? Wasn't there a third one? I know there's the main two.
There was the... something about the
Melanie knows.
Turtleneck or something.
Oh shit. Okay, we know, it was Nope Rope, Danger Noodle, but wasn't there a third one?
Danger Noodle and
it wasn't as
something
funny,
about
but it was a turtle or something.
I think there was.
It was something about something involving a turtleneck.
We went from Patrick Duffy to penises just now. Did you realize that?
Yeah, just.
All right, let's stay on sidetracking. Let's go.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Come on, let's go.
Nope, Rope, Danger Noodle.
Do you have them on your notes on your phone?
No, I Googled it.
Google. Kids these days.
Hey, I got a lot of weird shit in my notes app. Okay,
I deleted a bunch of days. Surprised what I have in my notes app.
Text drafts. Okay, literally in my notes app. If anybody cares, I have recipes, passwords, measurements for like lamps.
You're not supposed to tell people you have passwords.
No shit. You just broke code.
Did.
I broke code.
Ooh.
She doesn't have passwords on her phone, guys.
No, she was lying.
I totally don't have passwords on my phone. There's not a whole lot, no, because usually they're somewhere else.
Okay.
Anyway, so Sue Ellen says yes to JR.
Yes. Let's keep pushing forward.
She wants the
Yeah.
They're,
I mean, look, there's got to be something in it for her. She can't just keep falling. Like, you know what? I'm going to shut up now.
Melanie hates that. Melanie hates that part of that relationship.
I hate what?
Sue Ellen's being an idiot going back and forth. Because
You got to remember, I was the biggest, like, JR and Sue Ellen shipper ever, like, 15 years ago. And now I'm like, this is not the kind of relationship I want to have. No. But still, they still pull at my heartstrings. She's like, yes, I will. And it's like, I know you love him, but...
It's frustrating.
And by the way, I just need to say, this is how much I poured myself because I know
she's lying. In the
What's
kitchen,
in it?
she poured more than that, and she drank it real fast and came back, and now she's saying it.
Actually, there's some left. Like, I can't eat.
Sarah,
you
don't
cannot
tell her
drink
secrets.
This much like Delta 9.
Don't tell her secrets. No.
Y'all don't want me to fall asleep on the live.
We only have a couple more scenes, so
let's go.
yeah,
Come on.
I think we're
Oh, okay.
I'm hungry.
I've got almost 2 pages more
Snacks
here.
is hungry. Hurry up.
We've got a little while to go.
Snacks is hungry.
Oh, you're right. We have a little bit more to go. Okay.
So Cliff sends Afton home because
Tyler, I am
he's
so
going
sorry.
out.
This is your first impression. It's terrible.
Go, Josh.
We should introduce him to Omri Katz and Josh Henderson. That way the 3 John Rosses can get together.
You should introduce us to Omri Katz and Josh Henderson too.
Well,
all 3 of them at the same time. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. So Afton wants
put it in your notes app.
Afton wants Cliff to take it easy. Maybe read, sleep, watch some TV.
All solid ideas.
Yeah, solid ideas. And Cliff's like, nope, I'm going out. And she's like,
she wants a Netflix and chill.
And then she's like, yeah, she does want a Netflix and chill. And he says his ultimate, like, I'm going to insult you is you sound like a wife. Like, Cliff, wait.
Hey, no.
That's not a bad thing. Somebody wants to take
Try
care
to
of
get
you,
one.
you
There you
dumbass.
go. Try to get a wife.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cliff's not going to get a wife in his condition right now. That's for sure.
No.
I mean, he's kind of got one right there.
She's just worried about him. She's just totally worried about him right now because she knows he's not good. He's not in a good mental space. He's been drinking. She's like, this isn't great.
It's a bad idea.
And then he just gets in her face and says, you know what? You are making me feel uncomfortable. So when you're doing this, so you need to go. And then she's like, okay, but can I come back later? Like after work, like at 8? And he was like, yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Just go.
He's so mean to her.
He's so mean.
She deserves better.
She totally deserves better.
She totally deserves better, and bless her heart because
she deserves better. Sue Ellen deserves better.
I did. I said bless your heart. Bless her heart in the nice way.
We had this conversation last couple of days.
In the nice way. We did. We had. Oh my God! Did we have it in the elevator with that guy with the security guard?
Yeah, maybe. Yes, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Let's
you don't remember.
Anyway. So she leaves, and then as soon as she
Cliff
leaves,
is such
Cliff
an
puts on
ass.
his
Amy
jacket,
says.
left.
Amy says Cliff is such an ass.
He is, Amy.
He is an ass,
and I feel sorry for Afton.
Yeah.
I do.
He's being an ass. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we cut to the apartment manager from where Kristen used to live. And he says he doesn't really know anything about Kristen because he really tries to stay out of his tenants' lives, but he's pretty sure she was pregnant. But if they want to talk...
So apparently she paid her rent. That wasn't an issue.
She paid her rent. He left her alone. He said, if you want to talk to someone who knew her, this lady Sharon over here was friends with her. And so they go talk to Sharon.
And they learned some things.
Oh, they learned lots of things.
Last March, apparently when she found out she was pregnant, Kristen married this guy she was living with, Jeff Faraday.
Bum, bum, bum.
Who was a scum bucket, pretty much is what she alluded to.
Yeah.
Con artist.
Yeah.
And she knows because she stood up for her at the wedding.
Yeah.
So she was Kristen Faraday. But she kept the name Shepherd.
Yeah, she didn't actually change her last name though. I mean, it's a lot of shit to change her last name. So
no
I mean,
fucking
she being
shit.
as high as it probably was. I mean, she isn't gonna be able to do that.
You kept your maiden name, right? Yeah.
I did keep my maiden name.
I wanted to, but dumb me, I've had 2 names now. 3 names. Sorry.
When my sister and her first husband married, they were he and I were joking that they were going to actually splice their last names in half and come up with a new last name.
My friends,
I know people have done that.
Yeah, my friends are husband and wife are doctors, and they both took one of hers and half of hers and his, and then the kids have the mixed name, and they both kept their original name.
So my kids like didn't know that was a thing, that women take their husband's last names a lot, just because like my family didn't do that. So when my son was in kindergarten, he was like, "You will never guess my teacher's husband has the same last name."
How cute, though. I mean, really.
And I was like, well,
I have friends. I have a lot of friends that didn't change
a thing.
So it's fine.
No, like my mom kept her middle name as her middle name, and I know so many women that use.
That's what I
maiden
did.
name
But
as
my sister-in-law did
my
that.
mom kept her middle name as her middle name, but I put my maiden name.
We have an Anita K. Dunning-Wren on here, and she said her daughter and son-in-law did
Anita
that.
Wren.
Combine their
She
names.
said
Oh yeah. Anita Wren is one of our Patreon
Anita Wren
members.
is our Patreon member, and she's also a friend of mine. Hi, Anita.
Welcome. Bobby Daniels.
I'm gonna let the dogs out.
Anita's my mom's name.
And Bobby Daniels said Rhonda Shear was in this episode, and she was the woman that told Bobby and Pam that the manager was in San Diego.
Oh.
Who was somebody?
The woman by the pool.
Not
Wasn't she also the
No,
friend?
not Sharon.
Different person.
Yeah.
It
Sharon
was a
had
weird
blonder
thing
hair. Sharon had blonder hair, and the other one had darker hair. Rhonda Shear. Can we look her up? That name sounds familiar.
She had is she like an actress? Do we know who she is? Because it seemed like one of those like, you want a role on Dallas and you get to say a line.
Rhonda Shear.
If Bobby could. SHEAR.
She was Miss USA 1975. Oh, Miss Louisiana. She competed in Miss USA. She was on Up All Night on USA.
Up All Night. You just did a Peter Brady thing there where the voice went a little.
No, that's what they used to do on Up All Night. That's how they used to say it. They'd say Up All Night.
She was Fonzie's girlfriend on Happy Days.
Which one?
She was on Married with
That's
Children.
not Pinky Tuscadero.
Not Pinky Tuscadero.
Tyler Banks said she did softcore porn.
She did that too.
Thank you, Tyler, for cutting to the chase.
Cutting to the chase. Okay.
She did softcore porn. She was in Playboy.
Okay.
Let's just cut to it. Yep. Thank you.
There we go.
She designed the bra.
Yeah, and she had a lingerie line too.
Remember the bra?
All right.
Tyler, you're really up on
something in 2010
on QVC.
Oh, she co-designed something with Crystal Hefner. A bunch of lingerie.
All right.
That was on the QVC network, according to Tyler. He's up on his QVC and his.
Oh shit!
He's up on his QVC and his lingerie and his
softcore porn.
Hey,
Cinemax, yeah.
The shit you get on QVC is top notch, and I only know that because I've gotten some QVC hand-me-downs. So, and I don't knock softcore porn at all.
I mean,
like, good for her.
I mean, when I was in high school, that's kind of all you had.
Rhonda Shear.
And speaking of Tyler,
Shear.
he is in the beginning of the next scene playing with blocks with Mrs. Chambers.
Is he eating mac and cheese or grapes?
Mac and cheese.
Thank you. No, he's not eating anything in the scene.
That's later. That's later. He's eating mac and cheese.
He's playing with blocks, and Sue Ellen has Mrs. Chambers take him upstairs. How many times, Tyler, did they have you taken upstairs?
All the time. All the time.
Oh, God.
Like,
apparently it's raining.
That's probably the one line that probably sticks out in his head. Take him upstairs. Take him upstairs. Get him dressed. Change his clothes.
Fix him a proper lunch.
You can fix it, you fucking dumb.
Like, what the hell's wrong with crackers and grapes? And mac and cheese. Like,
has anyone ever tried to shove as many
grapes?
It's little kids.
Toddlers are not supposed to eat grapes.
Or hot dogs.
It is a choking hazard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or hot dogs.
Yeah, Tyler, they endangered you on that show by making you eat grapes when you were so little.
Wait, no, he had teeth.
And he was like
2,
swear to
right?
God, you're not supposed to give them to little kids, like any toddler. No. You're not supposed to give them grapes. You're not supposed to give them hot dogs. Even the pieces, it can get stuck.
Yeah, I used to cut them like quarters.
You're supposed to cut them up really tiny.
Oh, shit!
He was hyperactive. He says they had to calm him.
It's the exact
a little
size
CBD
of
there, Tyler, might have helped.
Your windpipe.
Yeah, and hot dogs expand.
Has anyone ever tried to do that thing where you put as many grapes in your mouth at one time as you can? I did 54. That was my record. 54.
No.
Chubby Bunny.
Thank you,
Chubby
because
Bunny.
there's this.
Yes, I said I did marshmallows.
No,
Yeah, Chubby Bunny is marshmallows.
Okay, so there's this recipe with grapes and sugar and prosecco and I think vodka. Try that.
That sounds
next
like
time you want to stuff your mouth full of grapes.
That does sound like a hangover.
Uh-huh.
Child
good
endangerment
beach
on the
snack.
set of Dallas coming soon. No.
Yes. Dun-dun-dun. Okay, so then we cut to Cliff. He goes to see Sue Ellen to apologize to her, and he's a mess. Just a sloppy mess.
Thank God they got
Cliff.
John Ross out of the room before that.
Oh, yeah. That's not, nobody should see that. No little kid. And he's obviously like a mess, probably drunk, and he's vulnerable. Yeah, super vulnerable. And he says that, he's here to apologize. He shouldn't have, asked her. He just didn't know what to do and whatever. And she's just worried that JR is going to show up and Cliff is going to be there and it's going to be a bad scene. So she's trying to get him out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah, and Tyler couldn't eat crackers. He had a weed allergy.
I saw that. That sucks.
Oh. Wow, that makes sense on why they chose that. It's good to know. And then Cliff cries and says that,
So sad.
we could have had a wonderful life together, because I love you and I just want to be with you. And if you would just love me, we could make a life together. And she just kind of stops. She's just like, I am marrying JR.
I hear,
And I don't want to see you again. That's like a dagger.
I hear Meredith Grey. Pick me, choose me, love me.
It's just
that's all I keep hearing.
Yeah, it's just
pick me, choose me, love me.
And she cares about she cares about Cliff. She really does. She likes Cliff, but this is intense.
Well,
and
yeah.
I don't think she didn't realize how much Cliff really felt for her until this moment. And she's just like, you gotta go. I've made a choice and it's not you.
I can't see you again.
That's so sad.
So Charlie Brown walks out.
Wah, wah. What? The guests are not coming? We can eat the Chex Party mix? Wah, 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 wah.
Yeah. So then we cut to Bobby and Pam, who are figuring out the last details of the whole Kristen, Jeff Faraday debacle. Which, we missed earlier. Did we? No, never mind. That's coming maybe later. With the blood. Did we already?
We talk about Kristen kept her maiden name on the birth certificate so she could continue to blackmail JR and Jordan Lee. And then after she died, Jeff Faraday continued this whole thing. And they're waiting for a call from Detective Howard. So apparently they're going to be staying another night because...
Yep. Just living it up in LA.
In that very California-looking hotel with the wavy architecture on the outside,
Sorry, that was my ice maker in the background.
So then we cut to JR. He has given Sue Ellen a sable coat. And she's
this
just
is
being
the macaroni and cheese scene.
This is the mac and cheese. You're spoiling me, JR.
Tyler, this is your this is your
mac and
scene
cheese.
where you're eating mac and cheese and Sue Ellen is prancing around in front of you
your
and Larry
fingers, and I love it. It's the most adorable
he has
thing.
this line where he's just like, where JR is telling, of course, John Ross all of his plans, so we're going to be a big family again. And he's like, yeah. He's like, and then I'm going to take your shares of you and Goyle, and then I can be in control.
And again, Tyler's like, he has no idea. It's so cute.
Just say whatever comes out of your mouth, boy.
It's where I want to smack the shit out of J.R. Ewing. Because he's like, you are a manipulative bastard.
And what have we said in the past? You don't tell your plans.
Don't tell your plans to the kid.
No. Do not, because somebody's always listening.
Always listening.
It's like when someone owns a parrot and you keep saying things in front of the parrot, eventually the parrot talks and the parrot is going to repeat what it hears.
It's the same as a kid. Kids are the same way.
Kids are
what
parrots.
What do I do?
Am I going to need a drink again?
Melanie needs to refill again.
We gotta hurry this shit up. I am hungry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're going to do it with water.
Okay, Cliff goes back to his apartment. He's obviously fucking wasted. And then Afton calls him to make sure she can still come over at 8. And he's just like, yeah, whatever. And then he hangs up and keeps drinking.
Oh, that's good.
And we cut to cocktail hour at South Fork.
Felt that.
I love cocktail hour.
Anita is in Texas right now, staying at a longtime friend's daughter's home, and her name is Kristen, and she was named after Kristen on Dallas.
She was.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Spelled the same and everything.
Oh, this is where we get those looks, the reaction shots of
Right. So
Ray,
JR
Donna,
tells the family the news.
Big cocktail hour.
They're getting married again.
Yeah.
Ellie's happy. Lucy
Everybody else is kind of like...
literally rolls her eyes.
Lucy gets the prize look of the night.
Yeah. And Ray and Dan are just kind of like, okay.
Well, spoiler kind of for the listening audience. When they get remarried, remember how she's not going to be there. She has like a photo shoot or something. And somebody, I can't remember who, maybe it was Mickey, asked her why she's not sticking around. She's like, I was here for the first one.
Yeah. Done and done again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And spoiler.
Yeah. And Tyler comments on his scene saying he's just chomping away, and it's so bright that my eyes didn't see much more than what was in front of me.
Oh, that's
and
probably
he
true.
Just remembers, he remembers a lot of the bright lights from the
yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, I can imagine.
soundstage.
Yep.
See, I love this insight.
Yeah, that's really cool.
We need.
I think it's really cool. Like even what little kids remember, you know, the memories that you hold.
Well, that's why I think it's cool because we were kids watching the show. So I feel like us learning about the kids on the show who are about our age, that's, I don't know, it really interests me. I think it's cool.
Really cool. Yeah, no, because I mean, little kids see the world through different eyes.
And that just seems like not a set for kids, you know? And that's why I love it. And it wasn't a show for kids yet. We all watched it.
It would be interesting.
I've got to ask, do you remember going to the playground, to the park with Larry and Linda in that episode of
and they left you with the monkey. They left him with the monkey.
Yeah, with the monkey and the hot dog
Popcorn.
and the swing.
For stranger danger. That entire scene was danger to a child.
It's stranger danger. Yeah, for sure.
Again, child endangerment.
This is pre-Adam, obviously.
Leaving him with a rabid monkey, probably.
Well, what really got me was when they left. And it wasn't so much the balloon going out the window, it was the fact that they got in the car and she didn't put him like in the back in a car seat or anything. She sat him on her
they just put on child endangerment.
I was like,
you go to jail for that shit now. What are you doing?
I know.
Exactly. And it would be interesting. Tyler mentioned that he doesn't remember that scene. Wow.
Okay.
What would be interesting, because Tyler has talked about his mother being an actor and being on the set. If they both came on sometime and talked about,
that would be so interesting.
That'd be cool.
I would love that. If you're up for it,
I'd love to hear. Like,
you don't have to.
Your mom's perspective versus yours, because I bet she probably remembers a lot more.
And if we get him and them both to come on, we can actually cut together some of these scenes.
Oh yeah,
so that they can see them.
That. Yeah, so they can see it. Like, really cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Cool. Well,
kind of like what we did with Lee and Charlene.
Mm-hmm.
With the wedding episode. Yeah,
because it brought back like random memories. They're like, in this scene,
watching them watch that was like,
it was so cool.
That's what we have to do if Tyler comes on. If his mother wants to come too, she can.
That would be amazing.
Your mom is crack up. Okay. She's cracking up. She must be. Is your mother listening to or watching? Or?
Oh. Is she?
Hi. I'm so sorry about the F-bombs. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
I'm sure she's heard worse.
My mom would die.
She was on the set. I'm sure she's heard worse.
All I ever get.
I'll give my mom a glass of wine. She'll laugh.
I mean, if I do it, and then she's like, I do better than that. And then I'm like, Mom, I'm 44. She goes, I know. Be respectful.
I know.
But I still say fuck.
So we're getting to the final act of the.
Yeah. But what if you give her a glass of wine? Is everything suddenly
one glass
funny?
of wine or one margarita, and she's wasted. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, she's mortified until you get her tipsy, and then it's like
or the casino.
No, his mother's not on, but she used to be a talent escort for all the award shows, apparently.
Oh,
so she
that's
would
cool. Yeah.
Bring the talent.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we do want to extend that invitation to both you and your mother
that would be cool.
to join us at some point, and we can actually show you some of these old scenes on the podcast as we
where they're trying to kill you with grapes. Yeah.
and leave you with a rabid monkey
in the park alone with a hot dog.
Right.
With that creepy man.
I know.
The 80s.
Well,
God, it was like shaking my head in the 80s.
He wasn't
This is the
alone.
80s.
Tyler's mother loves wine. That's
Me too.
Oh, okay. So she's
now,
just, she's
speaking
just like,
of
they're mummies.
wine,
Okay.
Cliff was drinking straight from the bottle, and Afton shows up, and she finds him. He pills on the floor, or pill
passed
bottle.
out.
This is why we do not
Unconscious.
take pills with alcohol, folks.
He's unconscious with a bottle of
Good
pills
idea.
in his hand.
But he was drinking straight from that bottle when he was home earlier.
Yeah. Yep. When he
the
was so
Bad
drunk
idea.
earlier that he was staggering, then drinking straight from the bottle, which is from personal experience bad news. Don't do it.
That means you're really drunk if you start drinking from the bottle.
Yeah.
That means don't know when.
It's not a
And
sign.
if you guys want a really like bad date story with a very similar scenario, go back a couple of years to one of our DOA episodes.
Yeah.
You remember that guy I went on that date up with that had done like all this Xanax and then
drank.
showed up and started drinking shots and was like in the booth
On a first date.
Oh my god!
Terrible idea.
Sarah, who
Well, you know what was even worse was that I gave him a second chance and he did it again, except with cocaine this time.
Jesus.
What, Josh?
well-
I'm sorry. The dogs I'm having to mute because of the fucking dogs.
and Sarah and Mary, who was that guy at our Chicago thing that he pissed you off, Mary, and then we went up, and Sarah and I were talking.
Mary blocked him, but he's still alive, but he doesn't.
I blocked him.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. The animals.
Why,
I don't remember his name because
I'm afraid to say
I
it.
need to hear this story later.
I friended him and then I blocked him within an hour. It was basically like he picked a fight. We were drinking at the bar.
Everybody was getting along.
We were getting along, and all of a sudden, and then like he picked a fight with
He
me,
basically
and
told
then
you that
just
you were
started
a
calling me
woman and
names.
you didn't need to have a job and you were too independent. And he like reamed into her, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Because I was talking to somebody else, and all I heard was, and Mary stood up. And
Excuse me? What the fuck? Man, I am glad I wasn't there.
I was like, well, I'm done talking to you.
This guy
Bye.
was there. This guy was at the bar with us that night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Little Robin.
What the fuck?
Little
like-
tiny Robin.
It was basically like no women are sexually harassed. That's not a thing. Blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, I have to go. Bye.
I'm sorry. In what parallel universe does that happen?
Thank you,
He had really
Patrick
good
Hart,
taste
for
in
the
movies.
Robin doll.
And Tyler.
I don't know.
But he was
Tyler,
just
what kind
a
of
trash.
wine
He
does
was
your-
trash.
What kind of wine does your mom like? He said, my
Trash.
mom loves wine. And I do too. That's what I drink. Anyway, so what kind of wine does your mom like?
Okay.
Hey, didn't we have a podcast listener show up to the bar in Atlanta? What was his name? Andy?
Yep.
But he met us in Chicago. That's
Okay.
how he found out. I don't
Right.
think he was like a real, but he has listened to it.
He's not a regular listener. I
Yeah.
don't think, unless you are. Correct us, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So the only ones
Because I remember him.
the only ones that I've met
This is a different guy,
is
though.
Amy, obviously, in Salem, and she's going to be at 90s Con too. So
Well, if I go, I'll let you know.
Cool.
Was she the one wearing the t-shirt?
Oh, yeah.
It was like
she
a
was
Dallas
the
or
only
Southport
she was the
shirt.
only Dallas one there.
that was
Yes.
her. The one that
She's
she,
the
and
only
she's
one
like,
that was
that's
there.
me. That's her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy. Now put a face to a name. Hey.
So yeah, and Cliff
We're in the
obviously
ER.
finished that bottle of wine because there was none of it spilled on the carpet. So it was an empty bottle.
Yeah. So we cut to the ER where they're rushing him in. We find out that he stopped breathing in the ambulance. which is not good.
That's not good.
And they won't let Afton go in because they have medical stuff to do. So they make her go to the waiting room. And they're like, it might be a while. So whatever.
We learned he took 50 tranquilizers and the next 24 hours are critical and he's comatose.
Yeah, he's in a coma. Jesus. Cliff.
Bigfoot Chardonnay. I've never heard of that. Have you?
What? Oh, Bigfoot. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a J.R. Ewing bourbon drinker, so.
And then Rebecca comes because Afton called her to tell her. And she's just really worried. She's like, I'm worried that I didn't get there in time. And
She blames herself, and Afton finally tells her about Mary Lee's visit and the whole plot.
She's like, it's not you.
And it's.
Yeah.
What is it that it was either Afton or Rebecca, or was it Rebecca said something? Because I put, glad you feel that way, Rebecca. Like, what'd she say? Nothing he did was worth taking his life.
Nothing he did was worth his life. Yeah.
Nothing he did was worth his life.
I guess,
okay. And I was like, glad you feel that way, Rebecca, because he was feeling despondent enough.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, he screwed up, and you could have been like, I love you, but I'm
so disappointed. That's what I just said to my kids.
I'm disappointed
That
in
makes
you.
me so
I'm
fucking
disappointed.
sad. You're like,
I'm disappointed that she didn't have to just walk out and be like, goodbye, Cliff.
Yeah,
I mean, that's on her.
That was harsh. Mostly given their past.
exactly.
Yes.
Given their past. Yeah, because he felt abandoned by everybody.
Yeah.
Again.
And like that
Tyler's a
re-trauma of his
moonshine
mom
man.
again.
I love Cliff.
What?
Tyler's, what,
He likes
moonshine?
moonshine.
Oh, my aunt lives in Tennessee and she makes the best moonshine. When I go see her, I get chocolate chip cookies and moonshine. What aunt does that?
White
Mine.
lightning, baby.
Nice.
Amy has now spoken to 2 John Rosses in less than 6 months.
Go, Amy, go.
Nice.
Cool.
So then we cut to, we've learned that Faraday's blood was also type B, which is a huge coincidence because that was JR's type of blood. And
Well, and Cliff's too, right?
oh yeah, and Cliff's too. Everybody's type
Look
B.
at you. Look at you go.
next to me.
Everybody's type B.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I remember Bobby's face at the kitchen table. You know, he's like, it was inconclusive. Both men have the same blood types. Like,
Yeah.
And
so you've got 3 men with the same blood
being
type
B when
involved
O is the most
involved
common.
with Shepherd sisters.
O is the most common, but yet these 3 all have B.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Shepherd sisters have a type.
I guess they do. A blood type.
It's type B blood.
Maybe they're vampires.
Bad joke.
I'm AB positive, so I don't get to give blood because it's very limited as to who can take
positive.
Wouldn't that be
Take that
really
blood.
like good if you gave blood though, because it is so rare?
No, I remember being at a blood drive at the school I was working at once, and someone said, "Oh, you're going to give blood?" And I said, "No, I got AB positive." And they said they don't want my blood type, and the nurses there shout across the room, "Yep, that's right. We don't want your blood."
But how long ago was that?
That's what I'm wondering.
Within the last, well, I left that job in 2013, so.
Well, science evolves a little bit every 10 years, so check it out again because there's always a use for blood of all types.
So now Bobby,
For real.
Bobby's
No, it's like probably my blood they wouldn't want to take because I've had like mono and shit before. So
Bobby is
who knows
pissed
if there's a nurse out there that can
at
correct me?
JR,
Please.
and that he would, because now he's
When is he
realizing
not?
that even though he thought that it was his kid, he would use it to blackmail him, and he's all of a sudden like pissed out of nowhere. He's like, "This is where he's putting his energy."
It's not the last time he's going to use a child.
Yeah. And he says he wants to vote him out as president as soon as they get home, but after he takes him apart.
That's Bobby for you. Take him apart.
Cliff is still in a
So
coma.
So going into cliffhanger, Ray and Donna are don't have anything going on. They're in a good place right now.
Yeah.
When you said take them apart, it reminded me of Snap It, Slim Jim.
Take you, Pop.
Oh yeah, Kool-Aid
We
Man.
already did that. Oh, yeah, you were on there. Melanie was not on there that time. Earlier, you got a drink, and we were like, Kool-Aid Man.
What?
Oh, yeah. And then I said, snap into a Slim Jim.
So Afton is at Cliff's bedside.
Yeah.
And then Rebecca confronts Ellie at South Fork.
Yeah, it's not a social call.
Good luck, Rebecca.
Not a
Ellie
social
will tear your fucking ass. Oh,
Yeah, no.
She's mad.
mother.
Rebecca comes in and she's basically like, you know what? My family used to be poor, but now we're not, and we're going to take you down. So it's on,
like,
bitch. And Ellie's like,
I was like, what is happening? I don't know what's going on.
She talks about she talks about how Cliff used Wentworth funds, and and she fired him. And maybe Ellie should do the same with JR, who used Ewing Oil funds to.
I mean, yeah, she should have, but she's also been walking around for like a year-ish in denial that Jock was even dead, not realizing that she's had the power to fucking fire him.
Yeah.
Yep.
But when it came up for a vote earlier, she didn't do it.
Which was kind of, I mean, I get her reasons, but at the same time,
I mean, he does know what he's doing. He can make the company flourish, but he's still an asshole.
he does. But I really feel like every single thing, again, needed to have like Bobby's and hers signature on it. Like they need to put, I'm sorry, if you need to like put somebody in their place, you need to like bring somebody else in for a second or third signature on every single deal.
And Rebecca says the feud is back on, or still on, and she's gonna, wipe out and then she leaves, and Sue Ellen runs off to the hospital, and
I'm just like, woman, you have not been a Barnes in 30 years. Like what? The Barnes, you're not a Barnes.
And Ellie asked JR if it's true, and he said,
like, tell it to my face. Tell it to my face it's true. And he's like, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's true. But I just couldn't stand the thought. I just couldn't stand the thought of him being with Sue Ellen.
Sorry, the dog was in the fireplace.
And he like smirks too. Yeah,
that's
true.
not all it was.
And he says that Barnes brought this on himself with his greed.
And she's like, you're a cold-hearted snake. Look into his eyes.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You're a cold-hearted danger noodle.
But JR, you didn't have to egg him on.
Yeah, no.
People don't do that stuff on their own. They're desperate. They're at rock bottom.
And when
now, why was he desperate and at rock bottom? It wasn't necessarily of his own. What's that word?
Volition.
Yeah. It was outside factors.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Caused by JR. Yeah. All around. Yeah. Sue Ellen, the business. It was all JR. JR is like, I'm not taking responsibility because I just put some things in his path and he took me up on them, and then I took Sue Ellen away. So
I didn't do anything.
Like, he just doesn't care.
Nope.
Plausible deniability.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. And then she's like, I'm going to take, as soon as Bobby gets back, I'm voting you out as president. That's it.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to do that, he says.
Yeah. He challenges. He's like, you don't know it yet, but you can't do it. And she's just like, are you fucking kidding? She's
and I'm going to go find
Ewing.
Sue Ellen, and I'm going to go find Sue Ellen and talk some sense into her.
As in, hey, let's elope.
Yeah,
I got some voting shares that I need to get back.
So then Cliff is still in a coma, and Afton and Rebecca are with him in the room when Sue Ellen walks in.
And if looks could kill, she'd be in a pool of blood on the floor.
Yeah. What are you doing here? Yeah, everybody feels guilty. Except Afton, who's just mad at everybody.
Yeah, it's funny how everybody feels guilty now that he's in a coma. Right. And,
Yep. So then Rebecca reads the room, and she's like, Afton, let's you and I go out of the room. And she's like, no, I don't want to. She's like, no, you and I should go out of the room. And so they leave, and they leave Sue Ellen to have a moment with Cliff.
A soliloquy.
A soliloquy, yes.
Yeah, but then the soliloquy is interrupted. Soliloquist interruptus.
Yep.
It's not really coitus interruptus, it's soliloquy interruptus.
Yeah. JR walks in.
Because you hear that, Sue Ellen.
Yeah. And he's all like, it's not, it's not our fault.
The fact that he even showed up there was
poor taste. Poor taste.
Yeah.
But he...
Like, what was the reason?
Because he's worried that
was he basically just going to get Sue Ellen and be like...
Yeah, because he's worried that she's, like, going to go feel guilty and, like, fall with Cliff and...
And she does.
Because she has that I need to fix the wounded bird syndrome. After JR got shot, she was right there with him. Sarah's gone
and
black.
She also feels responsible.
Did you not pay the electric bill? Okay.
She also feels responsible.
Yeah.
Just like she did last time.
Yeah, but Sue Ellen, he did this to himself.
I only have 10% left.
And she's like, nope. She's like, no, we did it. And then she said, if Cliff dies, I don't think I can ever marry you.
And season.
And season is done. And it's a freeze frame on JR, so we drink once.
Shit. It's going to be water.
Now you're drinking water 2 hours into it.
And as a side note, leading into next, it's time for Sue Ellen to
2.5.
It's time for Sue Ellen to go to the hospital barber.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She's pissed.
That's right. Is that this season to next season where she goes to the hospital barber?
Yeah.
They have a lovely salon in this hospital.
Yes. Just like the ones at the airport.
I give this 4.8 bourbons and a HIPAA law.
I give this 4.75 and stranger danger in the park. Don't do it. Stop.
It was a different sort of cliffhanger than
it was
in the past with shootings and drownings in the pool and not
like
knowing who things were and
low-key cliffhanger.
Almost Knots Landing-esque in some ways with some of their cliffhangers.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with a 4.75 and a plate of John Ross's macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
That's for you, Tyler.
You stole Melanie's.
Damn it, Josh.
Oh. She's got
Not
a
quite.
backup.
Almost. It was a plate of something. I gave it 5 bourbons. I got it perfect 5 because I love this episode. But I did a plate of grapes for Tyler Banks.
Yeah. Cut up, please. Cut those up.
Not to choke on.
Cut them up.
And Kyle says it's a cliffhanger.
No.
Oh, it is
for current day Tyler Banks.
Why didn't I think of that?
Why?
God, I'm disappointed in myself.
Okay. But the grapes are for current day Tyler Banks, not for 1990.
Right. Then you don't need to cut them up. I think.
No, no crackers. No wheat crackers.
No crackers. I will take the crackers.
And
we will give him the grapes and the mac and cheese.
All I can think of here with Cliff in the coma. All I can think of here with Cliff in the coma. All I can think of is the Russian from Rocky IV. If he lives, he lives. If he dies, he dies.
Sarah,
I don't know now.
What
all
were we
my
gonna
jokes
say?
are sexual. I can't help it. But now I forgot. I'm ADD.
All of you. Well, so am I. So we all are.
And my dogs are driving me crazy right now. They said get another dog. Okay. I love my baby.
So, we are. If this
thanks
season
to
is ending,
Rosalie Dessous for coming. Okay.
What?
That's from
What?
Tyler.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Rosalie.
Rosalie is that?
That's his fiance.
That's his fiance. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
With the ending of this season, we are now ending the Jim Davis Memorial Fund, which is money donated to braintumor.org. If you would like to make a last-minute donation in Jim's memory, that address is in your show notes or on our website. We are ewingbbq.com. Check out our Patreon. We have some extra stuff if you'd like to hear more of us, which, I mean, that's on you. That's a choice between you and your God.
Don't feel obligated.
What?
No.
I can't.
Whatever deity you choose to serve.
Whatever that's you. And
That's all you do.
yeah, we're on season 6. Like we're.
I call that our
It only
sixth
took us 3
season,
years.
for us too.
Yeah.
I mean, and this season is going to be epic coming up because it's the fucking battle for
my
you
God.
and oil. And
This is a really great
there's
season.
so much that happens.
Welcome, Rosalie. Welcome, Rosalie.
Basically, like the next 4 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons are just like golden age Dallas to me. So, so actually, the next season I think is when I started watching Dallas when I was 6 years old, inappropriately young.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us on this live and being here. This is super fun. This is way more fun than usual.
My battery's
I know. I had so much fun.
All right. Well, and we will, I guess, see you next season. Until then, bye.
Bye, y'all.
Y'all come back from that cliffhanger now, Cliff.
So I was out of the room when you guys started talking about the scene. No, I wasn't. Actually, I take that back. I was here. Totally missed it in my notes. And do you remember the scene where Bobby was talking to the hospital lady?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I noticed Victoria like standing behind him, kind of like smiling, like nervously, like as Pamela. And I put, "Why are you smiling, Victoria?" So I want to end this episode with, "Why are you smiling, Victoria?"
Melody's like, maybe she takes it around the world to get
Victoria.
back to the point. The funny point. The punchline.
I had to, because I was like, if I just said, "Why are you smiling, Victoria?"
It would be
Wait,
like
what?
funnier.
Oh,
They'd be
that's
like, what the
Mel.
fuck is she talking
They
about?
might have just thought it was just me.
That's a head wound Harry moment. You remember head wound
It is
Harry
a
on Saturday
head
Night
wound.
Live?
That's my
Well-
favorite skit on Saturday Night Live ever.
And the dog comes in and starts pulling the prosthesis
Off his head. Yeah.
Asked you, Clarice! How's that? Better?
Why are you staring at me, Victoria? Savage and explosive.
All right. Bye, guys.